Guacamelee, I really liked the post game in, so I'll totally give that one a pass.
Well, the post game in that game is literally all crazy platforming.
Yeah, I know.
It's the 12 hours of boring Metroidvania you have to play up to that.
Yeah. But I like that it had something, because I thought it was just going to be the boring Metroidvania.
God, people were really horny for Guacamelee back in the day.
Yeah, they were.
People were really...
Yeah, and then the sequel came out.
And then the sequel came out, and nobody cared. And then Anita Sarkeesian was like, nobody on the development team that made it is Mexican. And then the development team was like, oh, yeah, actually 3/4 of us are. And she never retracted. Because she's a cunt.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
I don't actually like her, okay? She's very
I understand.
Surface level and boring.
It's one of those things where the discourse got so toxic that you couldn't have legitimate complaints without being grouped in with the other shitheads.
Yeah, I can't say you can't say Anita Sarkeesian is kind of shitty just because it ties into that shit. Same way you can't say Zoe Quinn is kind of shitty because it still ties into that.
Are we live?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where's that fucking FMV game with Chuck Tingle? Oh, wait, she took the money and went to Japan. Never mind.
Oh, Jesus. I fucking love this artwork right now.
It's pretty good. It's very... Very
here for it.
Yeah. There you go. Don't need you. Anita, who needs you? Can't stand ya. Can't stand ya.
It'll come out when Act 2 comes out.
There you go.
And then Act 3 and 4.
Okay. People are piling in. Look at these people. They're in chat. They're in here.
Yeah.
Look at that. There's a duck in my chat. It's a duck in my chat.
That's just a Unicode square for me. That's hilarious.
Well, yeah, it's an emoji for me.
Excellent.
Yes, this is one of those Sockscast thingy-dooders. We're going on a bit of a trial run tonight, though. I'm in a real bad mood. I am livid. I'm very, very livid. And if we're not feeling it after 30 minutes, we'll probably call it early and try it again next week. But right now, I'm dealing with a lot of shit, and I'm just not in the mood. But we decided to give it a try because I'm funny when I'm angry. I say a lot of things that might get me in trouble when I'm angry.
Perfect.
That's what you do on podcasts these days, right? People just have hot takes.
Yeah.
Mine are always very just lava hot.
Brett is kind of like lukewarm takes every now and again.
Yeah.
Very middle of the road. I'm the person.
And then Polly's just like, I watched Empire Strikes Back. I thought it was a pretty good movie.
It's like I'm literally the only person that'll admit that Mother 3 sucks.
What? What the fuck?
Guardian Heroes is garbage.
Okay. Yeah.
Mega Man Legends 3. Glad it didn't happen.
What?
Christ, Polly. Hey, I've got a hot take for you.
What you got?
Yakuza games are good.
No.
Yes,
Let's not go there.
yes,
That's
yes.
not even a take. That's just a bold-faced lie. Like, there's no hotness to that. That's not a take.
Yeah, it's a very non-controversial statement. Most people that play them agree Yakuza games actually fucking rule.
I think that it's like Pokemon where everybody pretends they like it to fit in.
Hilariously, I see a lot of positivity about the new one, even though everyone thought they were going to hate it. They bought it anyways.
Yeah, everybody I know that said they weren't going to buy it because it wasn't for them fucking bought it anyway.
But then I see a lot of people liking it, except for the controls.
Yeah.
The controls sound fucking wild.
Yeah, okay. Duck in the chat says that it's a Space Harrier simulator. Well, like, dog, I've got like 3 Sega collections that got Space Harrier and Space Harrier 2 and Outrun.
Oh shit!
And I own Outrun 2. which is a baller-ass fucking racing game, by the way.
Oh, yeah? Well, Yakuza 0 also has Fantasy Zone.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You have to do a really long side quest to get it, though.
Oh, no thanks.
I think you have to play Space Harrier for a while and get like 5 million points or something.
Oh, that's not hard to do.
In a side quest, though, so you might have to unlock that side quest at some point.
The claw machine sucks. The claw machine made me real mad. Like, they gated me out of a side quest with the claw machine. And I was like, man, don't. I've had it.
Sumo minigame part 2.
That's the one that got you to quit.
That's the one that that's actually the one that got me to quit. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Willie.
I was mad. I was just like, man, what am I doing?
Probably only likes the PS2 Yakuzas and Mother 1.
There you go. Those are the only good games ever.
Yep.
It's my top 3.
Yep.
It's a cold
Yakuza 2, Mother 1.
Thank you for the 500 bits, Tengu Generous. You are a nice person.
It's true. Just like all of us.
I'll put those bits toward my car.
Perfect.
Okay, so since we've got a good amount of people in here, again, I will mention that we're going to give this a test run for about 30 minutes, and if I ain't feeling it, or if they ain't feeling it, or if we feel we're forcing it, we'll probably call it, because I'm just in no mood tonight. But me being in no mood makes me very funny.
That's true. Because you'll tell the truth. You'll tell the truth about Yakuza and Mother 3.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm the only person that's willing to tell the truth, I feel like.
Boy.
Oh, man, I almost said a thing there, and I caught myself.
What?
Oh, man.
I almost...
I don't even know what it...
A thing crossed my mind. I was going to say, I'm the something of something, and I was like, ooh, that would be real controversial. I better not say that.
See, you still got a filter.
All right.
I'm curious. All right, that's fine.
Are we good? Is everybody settled in? Are we ready to do a fucking podcast?
I guess.
All right.
Wait, let me get my tea.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Fire.
I thought we'd actually start.
I'm just kidding with you, Pally. Let's go.
This motherfucker. Why is he still on a podcast with me 4 years later? All right.
Natural charm and charisma.
Clearly. Hello once again, Internet Every Peoples. Welcome to Sockscast episode 85, brought to you by Thighs, the magical pre-pussy meat. I am your host, Polly. How's everybody doing out there in Internet land listening to this fine podcast? You know, it's weird. I started the podcast the way that I've been starting Let's Play videos all week. And I did it without thinking.
Nice.
It was very good.
Nice.
So everybody out there in Internet land feeling good, getting cozy. We're kind of winding down. We're winding down. This is going to be the last normal-ish Sockscast until Game of the Year stuff starts up December. We're recording that mid-December, and then those are going to go up the week of December 24th. So all of that fun stuff. So yeah, this is going to be the last sit around and bullshit episode of the year, and I'm sure we're going to go out on a positive note, right? We're all putting on our big smiles.
Of course we're happy.
We're putting on our big smiles. Everything's going great. Could not be happier. To my immediate virtual right, his new album is dropping December 7th. It's Rhett.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, I love that intro you used.
You do?
Yeah, that phrase.
Oh, why's that?
Cracks me right up. No, I'm not going to repeat it.
Why?
Everyone will just have to rewind a minute.
Why? What happened?
You said the thigh thing.
Oh, the thigh thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's our sponsor.
Thighs.
It's just thighs, you know. I can't get somebody needs to get on Twitter and make sure that I can get a Moon Pies sponsorship for this podcast. If they only knew how much I love Moon Pies, you know what?
Well, they can't lose their best customer though.
No, they can't.
Yeah, you're putting them through college.
So you've been hard at work on this album all summer, Rhett. And now that you're about ready, you're getting ready for the rollout. And like the weird thing is that I've not heard any singles up until this point. So I have to wonder, like, how are you promoting this one this time around?
I thought that I wouldn't actually. You're kind of fucking it up right now.
You're just going like the weird
it's
no promo kind of thing, huh?
Yeah, it's just gonna be like Radiohead, like, hey, we have a new album out.
Like, here's a new album, pay what you want, kind of deal.
No, yeah. Instead of pay what you want, though, it's pay me $1 million.
Oh, you're kind of like going that Wu-Tang route where you've got an album and there's only one copy. But I'll sell as many copies
as they want.
You'll sell as many copies as
they cost $1 million each.
Rhett's out there waiting for all 12 Martin Shkreli's to line up. Like, come on.
Oh my God, there's 12 of him now.
Probably. I mean, there's like...
That feels conservative. It's like there are that few people that...
Oh, I thought you were talking about clones. Jesus.
It's like rich douchebags, they're like a dime a dozen. It feels weird saying like a dime a dozen when you're talking about rich people, though. That's like that's weird phrasing to use for that, isn't it?
Yeah.
To my immediate virtual left, he is the angel with the scabbed wings. It's John Thayer.
Hard drug face, gonna powder his nose. That's it?
Yep, that's the one.
Something else.
That's the one. That is from the one
I got the reference.
Good Marilyn Manson album. I'm kidding.
It's a really good one.
I like a lot of his albums, actually.
I listened to Mechanical Animals for the first time recently and had a good time.
That's a pretty good record.
Yeah.
Little repetitive, but you got to consider that Mechanical Animals was kind of maybe spearheaded a little more by Trent than it was Brian Warner. So, how you feeling, John Thayer?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I've got tea. I played a game for like 10 hours in the last 24 hours. So my
wow.
Nice.
Like
it's going to fall out of my head. Trying to not look at the screen too much. Aside from that, feeling pretty good. Doing
good. Are the two of you ready for the end of the year? Because you know what's coming up. It's getting to be that time.
Beautiful list. Just A+, S tier.
I think we all have our list basically done already.
Yeah, I think for once we're all actually kind of just like settled in. Like the only thing that's kind of bouncing back and forth for me now is my number 2 and number 1. Mm-hmm. But if you want to get in on the Game of the Year festivities and have your list read right here on the podcast by all three of us, because we're very great public speakers. We've proven this in many years that we've been doing this. If you want to get in on the action, first thing you got to do, get yourself a list of 3 games. Doesn't even matter when they were released. If you played it for the first time this year, fair game. Always a good deal, because I think maybe there's like 1 game on my list that was released this year.
I've got quite a few, actually.
So yeah, get you your top 3 games. Get them in the order that you want them, all nice and neat, lined up in a row like ducks, like the duck that we have in our chat tonight. Get them all lined up, and then you want to take and you want to write you a few sentences. 2 to 3 sentences. 2 to 3 sentences about each
Semicolon
game.
use is unlimited.
No. Fuck no. So write yourself 2 to 3 sentences about each game. Why is on your list? And then you send that off to podcast@socksmakepeoplesexy.net. Rhett, where are they sending it?
To me. I fucked that up.
Yeah. You fucked that up.
Podcast@socksmakepeoplesexy.net.
Feels good, doesn't it?
I was looking at the ones we've gotten. I've gotten one from Poncho Smith, which was short. I think he's done some of the longer ones in past.
Do you remember that screed that he wrote for Undertale?
Aw.
Man. I tried reading... So behind the scenes stuff, nobody wanted to read that thing because it was way too long. So I tried doing a solo read of it, and it took 7 minutes, 42 seconds. Yeah, so, and then it was at that point that I decided, we're going to paraphrase that shit.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah,
a minute would be too much.
So yeah, again, get your list together. Any 3 games you played for the first time this year, doesn't matter when they came out. Write you a few sentences about each one, and send it off to podcast@socksmakepeoplesexy.net. John Thayer, where are they sending it?
podcast at socksmakepeoplesexy.net.
Wow, Rhett, see that? See that? That's what a competent co-host does. They follow up a bit.
I never claimed to be a competent podcaster or co-host.
Have we ever laid any claim to the quality of our show publicly that anybody could find? I hope that I have never said anywhere that, man, I host a good podcast, because, oh Lord, I was telling a big one.
I host a podcast. Podcast, not a good podcast.
It's just a podcast.
About video games. The only one.
It is largely about video games and is basically the only one of its kind.
Yeah.
So, Rhett!
Oh boy.
Why don't you get us started here on our last episode of the year? We gotta start with the showstopper, I think. Let's go, Rhett. Hit us up!
Okay. I played The Tetris Effect.
Uh-oh.
In VR.
Can I make a prediction? Oh. Can I make a prediction?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's the VR is weird because the image quality does take a pretty big hit because that game is extremely pretty, and it's also weird being like having your face just smashed up against a Tetris board. But like, it's kind of cool because you get so focused on the board itself, and then you're looking around and like you're just like, what is going on around me? Like nonsense of like flying through the sky while dolphins jump through the water, and like then you're on a mountain and there's an aurora, and like that game's wild.
Sounds like the best drugs.
I think they are heavily inspired by certain kinds of chips for sure. So the whole thing about this game is that it's basically a music game. It's done by like the guys who did Rez and some other stuff. It kind of reminds me of Super Space Invaders Extreme.
Oh, that game's fucking good.
The thing about that game, though, is like every action you do makes a sound, like when you shoot and move and stuff. So Tetris Effect does that as well. So like there'll be certain kind of sound fonts they'll use for when you're moving or when you're dropping a piece, and then when the piece kind of clunks down or when you clear a line. And it's all designed individually for each level to kind of be in tune
with the actual thing. So it's not like a uniform set of sound effects.
No.
Every song has its own unique patches. That's awesome.
And like one of them is like, it's like a jazz scene in New York. So like when you move the piece around, it kind of noodles like on the piano, like doo 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 doo. It's like, it sounds so fucking cool because it's just like, oh, I am literally like making freestyle jazz while playing Tetris.
Hear that? His album's gonna have freestyle jazz on it.
Jeez. It works so damn well. And some of them will be like kind of short vocal samples. And like there's a lot of stages that just have like full vocal tracks as the background music. God. And it works incredibly well. And the other thing they do in adventure mode is that the speed that the Tetris pieces drops will be coordinated with the music tempo. So they'll have like the stages set up in a way to kind of have rising and falling tension. Where like one song will get really fast in the middle and then it gets intense, but then it chills out by the end and you get a little breather, and it's like, it's really cool.
Yeah, like I've looked at and seen a lot about this game to know that it's just like, if there's a game I'd want to try in VR, this one and the Rescue Bot game.
Definitely Astrobot as well.
Yeah, this and Astrobot are like the two best arguments for me right now.
I've seen some people saying they don't like the VR mode in this because maybe it's too much and like you kind of lose the whole image because you're literally sitting kind of close in it. But for me, it's like, oh, it's just too cool not to do, you know? But I guess like people with like because I guess if you have a PS4 Pro, like it'll run in 4K and stuff, and they're like, oh, that's the resolution so much better. But I'm like, I don't really care about resolution that much.
Yeah.
But like, you know, 4K HDR, it's a looker for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
The other thing is when I'm in VR, like it's easier to have headphones on that way, and you know, because it's such a sound-focused game, which you wouldn't expect from Tetris.
No.
Yeah.
But it definitely kind of gives you the kind of cues that you would want to really be ahead of the game.
Yeah.
I remember seeing, I was like, why is everyone talking about this Tetris game for like a week? And then somebody finally posted like a 90-second clip on Twitter, and I watched it, and I was like, oh, yeah. Okay.
Because it's like the most nuts Tetris game that is just pure Tetris. That's the weird thing about the kind of it's called the journey, the story mode, and it's just like you play through kind of all the levels in sets. So it starts with like these 3 levels in a row, and then these 3, then like these 4, and then these 5, and kind of the pace will ramp up overall, and then the last level is just this one stage, which you have to clear 90 lines, and it gets very fast at the end.
Excellent.
So like I played most of it on normal mode, on normal difficulty, and it wasn't until like the last set of 5 small levels that I was like, this is just getting too hard, where I can't consistently beat the first one by itself because it starts out at like 10 speed or something.
Yikes.
And then the last level at the very end jumps to 13 speed.
Oh, that's bonkers.
Which is a fucking lot. So to beat that one the first time, I dropped it to easy, which still goes to 10 speed at the end.
Tetris the Grandmaster, you are not.
Yeah. No.
Is there anything different about it as like a Tetris game, or is it all just like the aesthetics?
So there are optional modes. Like there's the journey, which is just pure Tetris. Mm-hmm. And then there's a whole bunch of optional modes that are like, kind of clearing out these junk lines as fast as you can, or like a mode that gives you like the most perfect setup where it's like 4 lines with 4 holes, and then you just slam that long piece in there. Or like, 2 lines with a T shape in it. So you just clear those super fast. And like, so that's the thing, is I didn't do a whole lot of these. There's one kind of funny one where like junk will rain down from the sky every like 5 pieces that you do. It gets a turn, and it'll show you where it's going to drop it. It's called like asteroid mode or something. And it's all got very good visuals. But again, like I was more here for kind of the journey mode. But it does have that optional stuff. But I was kind of hoping that, I thought there was going to be like a second version of the journey that incorporated more of the wacky stuff into the main game. Because there's one that's just called like random, and it has a whole bunch of random effects. Like, oh, now you can't see your hold piece, or you can't see the next piece, or oh, this piece is just 4 times bigger than normal. So you just get a huge fucking piece out of nowhere.
A huge fuck you piece.
Yeah. And there's other nonsense like, oh, the screen is fucking upside down for a second. And it's like, oh, okay. And it's kind of weird that I thought there was going to be another version of the journey that incorporated all those stuff kind of into the level themes. Like, because there's a whole lot you could do with that idea.
Yeah.
This is PS4 only, right?
And it's PS4 only for some reason. And I think, for whatever reason, I saw somebody saying that the reason it's PS4 only is because right now Sega has the Tetris license because of Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Yeah.
But they were able to release this game on some technicality of it being a PSVR game, primarily.
Because it's quote-unquote technically a different platform.
Yeah. And that is the craziest loophole I've ever seen. But
that's how Tetris rights work, though. Like, literally every fucking platform has its own license. They are just making
But, like, if that was... It's so crazy, though. You'd think that they wouldn't be allowed to do a regular PS4 version if that was really the case, but I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? But yeah, so the journey mode is really good, but it's also like an hour long. So I just kind of blasted through it and had an extremely good time, and then kind of put the game down for the most part. So I'm going to go back to it at some point and have a very good time again. But like, if you're also just looking for a regular-ass, very good version of Tetris, it's a very good version of Tetris.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to fuck up straightforward Tetris.
You'd think that, but then Ubisoft got their hands on that license for a hot minute.
Yeah, Ubisoft.
And literally fucked it as hard as you could.
Oh my god, yeah, that version of Tetris was some kind of awful. It's like, how do you get slowed down and dropped frames in fucking Tetris?
The Game Boy ran it. Fucking shit weaker than the Game Boy ran it.
You could run that shit on a VMU.
Calculator.
Unbelievable. Yeah, calculators can run it.
Yeah, it's like a version made in Game Maker in like 2003.
Yeah.
I could literally program from scratch a Tetris clone, and it would function better
than Tetris Ultimate. This is the new Tetris Ultimate. Even though Puyo Puyo Tetris is also pretty good because it's got a whole bunch of nonsense in there and a story mode.
Yeah, that's
I bought
story
two
mode.
Tetris games this generation. How did that happen?
Weird. That is not like the thing that I would expect when I look back at Rit's purchase history for the generation.
I mean, I definitely played a lot of Tetris up back on the Game Boy. It's not like, and Dr. Mario as well.
Mm.
Game Boy Tetris is still real good.
It's still very good. There's a reference to it in this one. There's a hidden mode that pops up every Saturday.
Cool.
And it's just the Game Boy visuals with, like, you know, dancing Russians around you and, like, buildings and stuff. I think it has the music, too. I haven't seen it, though.
Yep.
I keep forgetting to play on Saturday.
I just saw someone complaining, like, where is it? I don't understand. Where'd the 1989 mode go?
I know. They take it away. It's so mean. There's weird stuff in this. Like, apparently there's one stage that the music changes depending on the time of the day. So, again, people were like, what happened to the music? Why'd they patch it out already?
That's so cool, though. Like, games that have context shit like that in it are so rad.
And so rare now, it seems. Where if something can come out and people don't immediately figure out what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, just data mine everything. Ruin everything.
Oh, I just had it stop, but I forgot. Oh, well. Yeah, it's a good version of Tetris, but I'm maybe not in a super Tetris mood, but I'll go back to it at some point.
Mm. I'd play Lumines again. That game's rad.
Yeah, that's the thing about this is, like, it's kind of this... It's more about, like, the emotional and, like, the effect it has on you. Like, kind of... It's a mood piece, really.
It's quite literally the Tetris effect. It is having an effect on you.
Yeah. But it's like you get to play in the, like, this kind of digital synthesizer soundscape thing with pretty visuals and stuff. And you also get to play Tetris at the same time. And Tetris is a good game.
Yeah, not gonna deny that.
Yeah. So it's like it's a weird fusion, but I think it works because Tetris is just a good game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I played a couple other games real quick. Yeah. I need to finish Resident VR. I'm so lazy. I got like 3 stages in and was like, this is awesome. I'm going to stop playing it now.
That seems good. All right.
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah. I played like 30 seconds of Area X, which is the one they made exclusively for VR.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my god, this seems like the most lot. And had to stop.
The most lot.
This is the most
it's
a lot. It's
more than a lot. It's the most a lot.
Excellent.
Anyways, I played a couple other small games.
Sure.
So, John, you're going to like this. Yeah. I finally fucking played Caro Blaster.
Oh, wow.
Oh!
I got it on Switch, finally.
Oh, you got the Switch version?
Yeah, I'm like, I'll take it on the go and just pick at it at work on lunch break and stuff.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That's nice. I already played that earlier this year.
Yeah. So I just finished normal mode, and the last level is very hard.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. Yeah, that game really picks up at the end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm at the very start of hard, so I'll get to that this week and have a good time.
Yeah, it's a good cute little game. It didn't stick with me though.
No, I get that. It's a little underwhelming as the follow-up to Cave Story.
Yeah, for me, it's just like this, just as like a cute, mostly gentle platformer where the language is really clear and it has a nice feel and feels good. The aesthetic's nice, the music's nice. It's one of those things where I'm just like, I think it might be like how a lot of other people feel playing Kirby games. I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah, there's just like an effortlessness to it that it's just kind of easy and comfy to sit down and play.
And a floatiness.
Yeah, definitely
it's a little floaty.
Yeah.
I kind of don't like how the jetpack feels at all. Because it does that Metroid 1 thing of if you're jumping straight up, you get a different jump than at a diagonal.
Yeah.
So that's a little weird.
Yeah, usually difficult to grasp that.
Yeah. It's just a little finicky at times, but it's a good game.
Yeah, it's good.
And those final few power-ups are just nuts for the guns.
Yes.
Just I'm just going to carpet fire everything with the spread gun.
Yeah.
Like the ninja stars just bouncing everywhere.
Yeah.
And the lasers just like, if I hit you with this, you're just gone.
Yeah, it like works up to that in a way that feels really good when you finally get it too. So.
Mm. I like the progressions with the guns.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you hold on to those upgrades and money when you die. So
Yeah.
if you're dying a lot,
Yeah,
you get stronger.
I did
works very
play stage
natural.
5, not stage 5, but the last level. Needed a little bit more money to squeeze through that final boss there.
Yeah, I did the same.
I'm going into it with like level 3 and 3 for the 2 main guns. So I'm like, need a little bit more.
Yeah.
I was going to be like, man, is that pre-final boss going to respawn? And then didn't. I was like, oh, okay. This isn't so bad.
It is hard to beat on a phone. I had to take a couple times for me to get there.
Yeah, I kept thinking, like, early on, you're like, yeah, this is a super basic game. And then by the end, it's like, how the fuck would you play this on a phone with fake touch buttons?
I did it. I managed it.
It's a little tricky.
It's like how, like, those cave shmups are on phones with like, the on-screen pads. And I was just like, how do you... No!
I can't imagine that. Those have so many bullets.
They have so many bullets.
I played several hours of Death Smiles on my phone.
How good were you
supposed to navigate through this?
You don't use the D-pad. That shit's garbage. You just trace it. You just touch the screen and then you move it around like a mouse cursor. They map exactly to where you're moving.
So it's Project N31.
Yeah, except that you can touch anywhere on the screen and then the avatar will follow your bullets, so you don't have to it won't be under your finger necessarily. Yeah, that's how most shmups on phones work. It feels all right.
Man, the last mobile game that I bought was on my Razor 2. I bought Contra 4 on Razor 2, dog.
Wait.
That game's... Contra 4 was on Razor phones, goddammit.
What?
I still have it on a phone that no longer works.
That was a DS exclusive.
No, it's not a DS exclusive. There is a Contra 4 on mobile that is real bad.
Oh my god.
That's not the last mobile game I bought. The last mobile game I bought was Monument Valley, but
and that was nice.
And that's a good game.
Did you finish it?
Yeah, I finished Monument Valley. Yeah,
I got like pretty far and kind of didn't feel like going any further.
Like an hour and a half.
I'm probably like an hour and 15 in.
Yeah, but like you are literally at the end.
I should probably finish it sometime.
Yeah, finish it. It's really nice. I never got the second one though, because I kind of felt like it looks kind of like you're doing the same thing again, and I liked it, but not enough to do it again.
They also made an expansion pack, which was also kind of the same thing. So I think the first one's fine. I think the second one's nice, but if you played the first one and the expansion pack and the second one, then it's too much.
The Duck in chat asks where the N-Gage people are at. Well, John wants to make an N-Gage game, so...
I did get a phone when I was in like 7th grade, like just a pre-smartphone phone, and I did like sample like at least 2 dozen like different games. I was like, that's always been... If I have a toy in my hand that can play video games, I want to see what it has to offer. Which is why I got Witch Spring 1 and started playing that a bunch. I'm gonna get the whole series.
So I played one more game real quick.
Okay, what's your one more game real quick?
I played Bleed 2.
Oh, that game's good.
So I've had this game on Steam for like a year because somebody got it for me for Christmas and I forget who. I'm very sorry.
Ooh.
And this was always like my smash the glass, I need something good right now game.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just something I felt comfortable having on the back burner.
Yeah.
I'd just look at it and be like, I'm going to play that sometime. It's going to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was browsing games on the Switch and I saw Bleed 2 on there on sale.
Oh.
And I was like, fuck it, I'll have it on here too. So my first playthrough was on the Switch with controls and like, analog sticks. And I didn't have that great of a time.
Yeah, I didn't play that game with a gamepad.
So then I went home and played it on the PC immediately after having played the Switch version and had a much better time. I was like, oh, okay, this game is good, but you really kind of need that mouse control.
Yeah, you need the mouse control. Just even the keyboard jumping and stuff feels way better.
Yeah. I just feel like you have more immediate, access to everything.
Yeah.
Because the thing with it on a gamepad is that when you start shooting, she swings the sword.
Mm-hmm.
So on a mouse, it's very easy to just hammer the left mouse button to keep swinging that sword. on controller, you can do it that way, but since you're using the right analog stick, you don't want to be keep moving it left and right or whatever.
Yeah.
So they have a dedicated sword button, so it means there's more controls to worry about on the controller.
Yeah.
It just feels a lot more elegant on keyboard and mouse and stuff.
Yeah, it's not the kind of game. It's like a Noi 2 Love 2 Devolution, where I don't think that game would feel good on a gamepad at all.
Yeah, I don't think they ever tried with that one though. I was just always kind of surprised to see Bleed on consoles, but I'm like, I'll give it a shot, and it's like, oh.
I mean, it is a control setup that a lot of like platformers and stuff use when they're like, because I remember what was that one game on Xbox 360 that I played that was written by the bigot Orson Scott Card or whatever. Yeah.
Shadow Complex.
Shadow Complex. Yeah, like that game uses the right stick to do all your aiming, and you have a devoted shoot button. And it's like, it works if your game is slow paced like that, but
like Binding of Isaac uses right analog stick, doesn't it?
Yeah. But like Bleed, like that's
it's
not a
so
game.
Fast.
It's it is like a treasure game in the surest sense.
Yeah. Because the whole thing in that game is that you have a slowdown button because it is so damn fast. Like, there are some attacks that come at you so fast you basically can't react without be in slow time mode. Yeah, I like how they kind of make the sword a default weapon this time, so you have parryable attacks and the slowdown.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like the slowdown isn't as emphasized in the level design as much as it was in the original.
Which that's kind of good, because I kind of felt that it gave that game a real stoppy-starty feel.
True.
So having it sped up just a little bit and making the slowdown a little more situational, like, I'm going to put that on my list of games to want to check out soon.
Yeah, that game's cool. But I would recommend the PC version.
Yeah, and play the first one if you haven't, because Bleed is really cool.
Yeah. They referenced... So the other thing about Bleed 2... is that they've referenced the first game a lot by the bosses. Mm-hmm. There's 2 sections that they just throw a bunch of first game bosses at you, and that feels a little weird.
Yeah, game's kind of trying to be a little more insular than maybe they have the right to be when they're not really that old and maybe not that well known.
It's not even that, it's just that, like, couldn't think of anything here. And it's like, every time I fought something from the first game, I'm like, I kind of like these bosses better than the ones in 2.
Whoops.
But after having played 2 like 4 times on various difficulties, I'm like, man, the game's actually really good. I kind of meant to go check out the first one again just to see how my memory of that held up, but I didn't get around to it.
I was thinking about They Bleed Pixels for like 10 for a couple minutes there.
Oh, speaking of that, the girl from that is an unlockable in Bleed 2 for whatever reason.
Dude, what?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you beat the game on normal, you just get the girl with claws.
Okay, that's weird. That's a weird reference.
And she seems bad because she has no range, because she's just clawing at you.
That's a weird reference to be making in 2018, to be sure,
I know,
because
right?
They Bleed Pixels came out in like 2012, and I've softened on that game a little bit since I reviewed it back in the day. I haven't. I think it's all right. I think it's okay as one of those. I think that it's unreasonable. But yeah, wow. I didn't think in 2018 I would be hearing They Bleed Pixels again, though.
I know, right? They just couldn't get the Shovel Knight license.
Yeah, like, how do you not? Like, who doesn't? Like, I fucking have a Shovel Knight license at this point.
Did you see that clip of like, all right, here's how you start making a video game. First you make this prototype. Oh, Shovel Knight's here. How'd that even happen?
It's true.
It is. It is.
They should just put him in Killer Instinct.
That would be cool.
Right there with the Battletoads.
Why not, right?
Yeah. Oh, right, the Battletoads are in Shovel Knight too. In the Xbox version.
Oh yeah, in the Xbox One version, they totally are.
Forgot about that. Okay. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay, cool.
Guess what time it is? It's everybody's favorite press the fast forward button time. Polly's dumb musical thing portion of the podcast where
I'm excited for this one.
Where nobody's listened to the album, so why the fuck are you talking about it? So, do anybody here in chat or any of my co-hosts remember a little band that you probably listened to for a while, and then they got real boring, called Muse.
Yeah, I listened to Muse.
Remember those guys? Remember the Origin of Symmetry?
That's a great album.
Oh, I thought you meant Muse from Love Live. Sorry.
Get the fuck off my podcast.
I mean, they also started good and got boring for a while.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, Muse.
Yeah, let's just pause it and we can listen to the new album.
So Muse, they've been on a real big old poopy streak lately. Drones was bad. The Second Law was bad. What came before that?
Oh, geez. The one I don't like. Actually, no, Resistance.
No, Resistance is good. And then there's...
the one before that.
Black Holes and Revelations is boring.
That's probably my least favorite.
And then you've got Absolution and Origin of Symmetry.
The good ones.
My issue with Muse, for the longest time, has been, is that for like the last 10 years, it feels like every song literally has to be Knights of Sidonia. And anybody that's played Guitar Hero knows Knights of Sidonia. You've heard that song and you know who Muse is just by me saying Knights of Sidonia. But yeah, it's just like this, like the height of arena butt rock sing-along anthem. We will fight the power bullshit that, that's kind of like the thing that they've been on for the longest time. And it's been very, very boring. What would your assessment of the band be at this point, Rhett? Prior to Simulation Theory, the newest record from British rock band Muse.
So I never hated some of the albums like you do, but I did grow bored of them, where it's like I could put songs from like the 3 previous albums, like Resistance, Drones, and Second Law. Like if I put them in on a mix,
I did that.
I couldn't tell you which album each song was from.
Yeah, like
they just blend together.
See, I made a playlist that was just like a few good songs from each of those albums, and was like, okay, this is tolerable as an album. Good thing they never changed how they wrote songs, because they all sound like they fit together.
The other thing I forgot was like how all those albums end with ridiculously self-indulgent tracks.
Oh my god, like
the fucking Exogenesis
was like
Drones.
Oh god, like that, like fucking the Second Law and Drones were literally the Matthew Bellamy show featuring 2 other British guys. This was him literally jacking off in the studio for 50 minutes a pop. And I was just like, if you'd have told me that in 2018 that I would actually be legitimately surprised and be enjoying a new Muse album, I would have said, nah, that you're wrong. Why would you be telling me that anyway? That's a weird topic of conversation to bring up. Are you a slider? That's what I would say to somebody who said something like that to me. Because that would be weird if you had a conversation with your past self, right? Weird. So anyway, Simulation Theory is... if you just look up the album artwork, it'll tell you it'll tell you everything you need to know about this album and what it sounds like, because never before has an album's cover so very thoroughly given away what an album sounds like. Apparently this is a trend that I didn't know existed with some bands they're like adopting this 80s synthwave stuff into their material, and apparently this is like a trend that I didn't know existed, which is weird. So for me, since I don't listen to garbage bands, I guess, since I'm not hearing it.
Do you listen to garbage, though?
I do listen to garbage. Their last album was really good.
Yeah. Anyways.
So Simulation Theory is that. It's just very neon, 80s influenced, just very synth-heavy kind of collection of songs that takes a step back from sort of the overly self-indulgent stuff. This is an album that's not afraid to be very simple in a lot of places.
It's fun.
Yes, this is a band that actually sounds like they're having fun making this music. And like when I first turned this on, I was like, what the fuck am I listening to? And it's just like with every preceding track, I'm just sitting there, my mouth becoming more and more agape. What? And then you get the propaganda, and it's like, oh, you've just gone out of your fucking minds, haven't you?
Yeah, those first four especially, like the progression there.
Yeah, algorithm, the dark side, pressure, and propaganda. That progression up to what they're doing and then going into break it to me in something human, it's just like, this album just keeps building and building and building and building, and it's so good and interesting and nothing like what they sounded like before. And usually, like, when a band takes this thing that they're known for and throws it all away, that can be seen as a bad thing a lot of the times. And even if they are biting a trend on this album, which, again, that's not my worldview because I don't listen to bands that have done that, apparently. Like, to me, this just sounds like a revitalized band doing something that sounds like they're legitimately enjoying it. Whereas, and I had read some interviews where they've stated that, like, the creation of this album, the way it sounds, a lot of the subject matter is a direct response to the previous album and its touring cycle, which apparently was just misery, like the most miserable they'd ever been as a band. So they went into the studio and just made a really fun record. It's still got a lot of that eye-rolly shit that that Matthew Bellamy does, where he's kind of like a bad lyricist. He's very cringy. He'll make your eyes roll, but it's the passion behind it. Like, and the dude's still got a set of pipes that aren't like anyone else. So it's just like all of this shit sounds real good together. And like, I look at this album and it's just like the only song I heard prior to knowing that this album was a thing was like last year, like last May, weirdly enough.
Yeah, it's an incredibly long development cycle.
They released, what was it? They released Dig Down, which is like this gospel-y kind of church hymn kind of sing-along song. And I was just like, I heard it at the time and was just like, well, I know what I'm not fucking with next year. And then, like, but within the context of the album, I think that song really works. And there's a really, really baller version of it on the special edition that you can replace if you don't like the original. There's, like, a super gospeled up version of it that sounds even better. But, yeah, I just, like, this is an album that kind of, like, I think may have catapulted itself onto my album of the year list. Just because, like, I like fun records. I like albums where you feel somebody's genuinely having a lot of fun doing what they're doing. The music is just good. It's catchy. It hits in all the right ways. Like, there's another album this year that it was by a band called Ice Nine Kills called I think it's The Silver Scream. It's an album whose concept is all about horror movies. And all of the songs are written about a horror movie. And, like, it's a really fun concept, and they have a lot of fun with those songs. And I kind of put this in that same category of just, like, this is really fun, and I'm having a great time. And, like, I'm so open to music like that when so much music is real depressing these days. So, Rhett,
sounds really nice.
So, Rhett, what are your thoughts?
Plus, most of the tracks are under 4 minutes long.
Yeah, like it's a very
short album.
Yeah, it's like a 42-minute album or something.
Yeah.
It's a very easy listen. Like, pop that on at work sometime. I think you'll have a good time. You'll like what you hear. Rhett, what are your thoughts on Simulation Theory?
I really like it. Like, that's pretty much it. I think I was a little thrown at the start because. So you didn't talk about the music videos besides the first one.
I haven't had a chance to watch them yet.
Yeah. So, like, not only did they release, like, 7 music videos for this, but they all kind of go in an order and connect to each other. And then the track list for the album is completely different. Like, I think even, like, tracks 6 and 7 are, like, they're opposite in the music video version where, like, what is it? Thought Contagion goes into the song before it on the album.
Yeah, something human. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So it's like, that was my first way listening to a couple of the songs. So it's like, wait, I thought this was just going to start with Dig Down and go into Thought Contagion, like on the music videos, because they connected. And so that threw me for a bit. But like, now that I've listened to it a bunch, like, especially that kind of first 4 run song, those first 4 songs, like, the way they connect and build and just keep getting weirder.
Yes.
With fucking Propaganda, man.
Man, I love Propaganda. I love that track to death because it is so out of left field for them. It's
so weird. I think track 5
Break It
is
To
my
Me.
favorite.
Yeah, Break It To Me is real good too.
Yeah, and then it kind of chills out with see, I just think of it as the driving song because that's what the video is.
Something Human.
Something Human. Something Human is probably my least favorite, but I love that. I love how damn cheesy it is.
Yes.
The robot voice saying human. Like, it's so stupid that you can't help but love it.
Yeah. It's like that's the kind of like fun stuff you come to Muse for, I think. It's just it's overblown and it's very, but it's just having a lot of fun with itself. I think the only song that I think is really weak is Get Up and Fight. And that's just because it's that same arena butt rock song that they've been releasing.
So exactly what you were just saying. Like, you could put that on the Resistance and be as like the final track and be like, yep, get up and fight. We gotta get up and fight. Like, it's the most generic. Yeah, I think having that one and Blockades right next to each other is a little weird.
Yeah, those are the two tracks that are kind of the ones that don't really fit in here. Even though I don't think they're bad and I don't skip them, I still think they're a good part of the record, but it's really out of step with that first run of like everything up to them.
Yeah. And I do agree that Dig Down works where it is. Yeah. Like, as a song and on the album.
Yeah, and I think The Void, like, I've seen a lot of people say The Void is a really weak closer, but I really like it.
I'm kind of neutral on it. I was like, it's kind of a slightly weak closer, but also it's not a 12-minute jerk-off session. So I'm kind of okay with it just being a little underwhelming instead of trying to be so big and indulgent.
Yeah, you don't get your 12-minute jerk-off session until next year when Dream Theater releases their next album.
Fuck. Can't wait.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a real good record. If you want some real good chill synth music with some really good production, real good instrumentation, and it's really fun, and you want some songs to get stuck in your head, look no further than Muse's Simulation Theory.
I very literally got a song called Thought Contagion stuck in my head for a day.
Yeah, and that makes so much fucking sense.
It's a song about being an earworm.
Yeah, it literally is. It's literally, I mean, it's a song about somebody's toxicity affecting other people, but the funny thing, it's funny that it's also a real fucking catchy song.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a really great record. And that's the end of Polly's boring music time thing. John Thayer.
Yeah?
What you been doing, Johnny? Johnny? Maybe what you been doing, huh? What you been up to, Johnny? What you doing? Doing over here, Johnny, huh? What you doing? Oh, no, never mind.
I had to ruin it for you.
Just ruin everything, Rhett. Why do you do this to me?
Well, I played a mouse and keyboard 2D platformer.
Oh, hey!
Left an analog stick and right analog stick on the gamepad version.
Hey, those are all the rage these days.
I know, right? I played a game called Overwhelm. Okay, this is
a game that I want to hear you talk about because I'm very interested in it.
Okay, good, because I think that I can contextualize things nicely. It is a game where you go down into a cave, and your goal is to beat 5 bosses. And you just move through. It has a little Metroid map, but the map disappears every replay. If you can die 3 times, and once you've died 3 times, it's game over, and you have to start from the beginning. It is not a roguelike. The stages are completely static.
It's just it's an old game. It's got a life system. It has
3 lives, and then you're dead. Your lives refresh every time you kill a boss, actually. So if you manage to, and as you lose lives, the edges around the screen start to fray a little bit, and things get a little bit staticky, and the music gets more intense. And then so after you kill a boss, there's this instant moment where that all goes away as your lives come back, and it's very cathartic.
Nice. I have to admit, it's kind of funny, the idea of the game being static and just having 3 lives and sending you back to the start. Like, it sounds novel, But that's just how everything used to be.
Yeah.
It's just it is a platformer. It has a static layout. You can fight the bosses in any order. And if you die 3 times without beating a boss, then you lose and you have to start back over. You get no power-ups, but every time you beat a boss, all of the enemies in the areas between the bosses do get power-ups.
Oh, that's rad.
Which is contextualized as the hive learning as it fights you. So you beat a boss, and then all the enemies and the bosses get a little bit tougher. You can fight the bosses in any order. Once you've beaten a boss, you can start the game right at a boss, right before a boss arena, so you can jump in and it's kind of a neat way of not softening the game, because you still have to beat all 5 in one go, but it lets you practice the bosses. You can just jump in, fight this one boss a bunch. You get an ammo disadvantage if you start at the boss instead of at the start of the area, basically. So it's a nice little way of making it so you can try each boss in turn and learn their patterns, while also without compromising the intent there, I think.
Yeah.
I think it feels really good with the gamepad. I think there was just an update right before I started playing it that specifically was to make gamepad support better. It's left stick to move, right stick to aim your gun. And then you have the shoulder buttons for jump, shoot, and tackle or dash. It's just sort of if you're jumping, it does a little uppercut, and if you're on the ground, it does a little dash. It's very nice. And it feels good. The shooting feels good. The tackling feels good. It's a really slick, simple, stripped down movement set that works for what it's doing. And the aesthetics, it's mostly red and black. A little bit like Downwell, but way more intense.
Yeah, it looks like whereas Downwell does have certain patches of color here and there to kind of help differentiate or add detail. This is much more severe. Is the word
severe is a good
use.
word.
Yeah.
When I played it, I was like, "Oh, this is someone made like a version of the kind of game I made in 2013, and then but punched up times a million." Yeah. And I was really jealous for a little bit, like, "Oh, man!" Even with the enemies get stronger as you progress, and you don't. So reversing the typical power fantasy type thing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, so I think this game is conceptually perfect. I think I had a stronger turnaround on it than I think I ever have, or in recent memory.
Oh yeah.
In that I went from this is my game of the year. This is perfect. This is me. This is everything I've ever wanted. To being well, let's wait a second. Let's pull back for a second.
I mean, you literally made this game before, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Go play Fugitive. It's a really good game.
Yeah. It is. But then the more I played, I sank a good 3 or 4 hours into it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I think a successful run would be about 20 minutes. It's punchy. It's good. I only ever beat 3 bosses. I have not finished it.
You've not finished it? Oh, wow.
It's very hard.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is this like a Masocore platformer, or is it just kind of based on something like maybe like a Mega Man Zero, where you've just got to know that fucking moveset and be good with it?
You really have to know the moveset, and you have to... the enemy layouts are not static. They will shift a bit, but there's no resources to collect or anything, so it's just... there's a stash of 30 or 40 bullets before every boss, and that's the only resource you're collecting. So you can run out of bullets. So enemies get power-ups. There will be... The most common enemy gets a power-up. Some of them are more impactful than others, but beating one boss gives the most common enemy the ability to climb on walls. And then it climbs up on walls and then jumps at you. And then in one hit, you're dead, obviously. Also, if you pause the game, then it shows enemies that aren't there.
That is something when you mentioned that, I thought that was fucking real clever.
Yep. So it's a handful of things make this a bit grating. This is when I started thinking this is when I started thinking in terms of my inner Polly's getting a bit mad.
Uh-oh.
after I think one power up, I think enemies start randomly taking more than one hit to kill with the gun.
Oh.
And there's really no language like communicating. I played it for like 2 hours, not being sure if I was just missing or if they were just taking extra hits. And then I like conferred with multiple people, and they're like, no, they start taking extra hits. And so you're moving forward, you're moving quick, and because you're fast in this game, and you shoot an enemy, and then you walk right into it because it's not dead.
That doesn't feel good. That's like hitting spikes in a Sonic game. Doesn't feel good at all.
It just, yeah, it feels like that's really the thing that is like feels bad.
Oh.
And because this is a game that is the camera is moving in all four directions. It's not static screens like Fugitive or like moving, just scrolling along one axis at a time.
Mm-hmm.
It is scrolling on all axes at a time, and enemies will jump out at you very quickly. And I'm not sure the camera quite
can keep up.
Is up to the challenge because it's a big challenge.
Yeah, if you're going to make a game like that, the camera has to always be able to frame the action so that it's fair.
Because it's almost always gives you the capacity to, and almost never have to make blind jumps. So, in which it's suicide. If you jump down just without thinking about it, you'll land on an enemy and die. There's one area where there's like deliberately enemy obscuring grass, so you have to watch for like very careful pixel things. But I actually think that works, and the boss builds off that theme in a very cool way. It's a camouflaging boss.
So that's cool.
Yeah, and it actually works really well. And this game is so stripped down that that's really all it took for it to be like, well, okay, maybe not the best game of all time.
Yeah.
In my head, it was just like, this camera isn't quite there, and this crucial interaction of shooting the enemies can't be trusted.
Yeah.
And that just like, okay, I think this is a step beyond what I want. It was too demanding for me, which I think
that's kind of like where
I
was playing a game earlier this year called Monolith, and it's like it's a really cool roguelike bullet hellish kind of shooter, but you move around as well and can aim in any direction. And I did a shit ton of that game in like I played that game for probably like 6 hours in one day just because I was so hooked to it. And then you like to do the rest or to see the rest of the game, it's like, okay, do hard mode now, and it's just like, okay, this is a bit much video game. I don't really feel like I'm equipped to handle what you want me to do now. And you kind of hit that road bump in a game that you're really enjoying, and it kind of feels bad.
Yeah, I'm just like, like the story of it is perfect to me. I love it. But then after, I got to the point where I killed 3 bosses and the enemies have 3 sets of power-ups, and I was like, I'm shooting enemies and then they don't die, and then I get hit by and then something jumps off the wall, or one of the speeding, now super fast flying enemies flies at me, and then I'm like, well, I don't really feel equipped to deal with this now. This is... And not in the game. That's the whole nature of the game. It's called Overwhelm.
Yeah, it's literally to overwhelm you.
I do wonder if the developer's like expecting people to beat it, or if it's like he doesn't care if like 1% of people actually beat it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm wondering. Like I'm appreciating the artistic effect of it and the deliberateness of it. I don't. And again, I think this is me talking, and I'm very happy to make excuses for things being kind of bullshitty if it works for the story. I feel like this would have benefited from just a bit more restraint there, considering the challenges of the camera and whatnot. You can simplify it by there's a reaction speed slider, and I have it just set to the default, and you can lower it to be like, no, I need more time. So that might help
interesting.
A bit. I haven't tried that out. So that's kind of was my experience. The bosses are very good.
Yeah.
It's an aesthetic experience. And I feel like if you could play it for 2 or 3 hours and not beat it, and it's still kind of worth it.
It would still kind of leave an impression. Like, that you've played something good, even if maybe it's not going to stick with you.
Yeah. I don't think I necessarily... Like, I haven't beaten Spelunky, but I know Spelunky's great.
Yeah,
Spelunky's made to be beaten, though. Come on.
That's a good point, yeah. I've beaten Spelunky, so I know that it can be beaten.
I think I have like 10 or 12 hours in Spelunky. And I don't
the learning curve of Spelunky is fucking insane. I'll give you that.
There's only one rule of Spelunky, and it's ABC: always be carrying.
I think I would beat Overwhelm in much less time than it would take for me to beat.
Probably. Yeah, it took me.
There's a lot less variables, obviously, a lot less to learn, but
I think my first Spelunky win came at 20 hours, maybe. Ooh. It took a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not talking about really beating it.
Yeah, exactly.
That game goes. So,
conceptually,
dude, I've been to hell multiple times. Fuck that shit. Okay. Oh my god, it's every time I get to hell, it's just a disaster.
You spend half an hour to get there and then just die immediately.
Yes, that is exactly what happened my first time. I got there.
There are spikes in hell that are not very clear that they are spikes.
They're not very well defined, but we got Spelunky 2 coming next year.
Oh, I hope that's good, but I don't like the art at all.
Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah. So that's the thing where all the good platformers now are fucking good action platformers now are fucking roguelikes, so Downwell, Spelunky. So it was really nice to play this and be like, yes!
It's not a roguelike.
It's just a platformer.
It's incredibly novel.
With permadeath. This is great.
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm at that point to where I want to play Dead Cells, but at the same time I'm just but it's a roguelike.
Yeah.
And I like roguelikes, don't get me wrong, but I've had too many. And Dead Cells looks really fucking cool.
Yeah, it's sort of like Metroidvanias. It's
you just played the one. You know the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super Metroid.
Basically.
Okay, the 2.
Symphony of the Night. Boo. Even I can't say that. I almost barfed. I don't like Symphony of the Night. Actually, that was a weird thing to come to terms with recently. Like I said, because we talked about it last week a bit, where I was delving a bit into the Castlevania games, and I just realized, man, I do not like Symphony of the Night at all. It's so easy and crappy.
But do you like any of the?
I don't like them at all.
Any of them? What about the one with Shinoa? What's her name?
Oh, Order of Ecclesia, I think still holds up.
But that one kind of tried to go back and have actual difficult levels.
It's very much a Shantae-ish kind of setup too, where it's just there's individual stages and there's a lot of shit hidden throughout each one of them, and it's really fucking hard.
That's cool. It's kind of a fusion of those styles.
Heather can't beat Symphony of the Night? What? Rondo of Blood isn't a Metroidvania though. Rondo of Blood is the last great grasp at being, a good Castlevania game until Bloodstained came out.
It's so weird to me that they released that 2-pack and it's Symphony the beginning of the new style and Rondo the end of the old style.
Yeah.
They couldn't be more different basically.
Yeah.
Even though they were the games next to each other.
Yeah, Pleiodalis The Dark Call. Climax. Yeah. Colin mentioned Pleiodalis. That game's real good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really liked Oniken, so I want to try that out.
Oh, yeah.
Blazing
Chrome's almost done!
Cool.
It's got a release date of early next year. I'm stoked.
Sweet.
That game is gonna be right up there with Super Cyborg.
It better be better than Super.
Dude, Super Cyborg has its moments, and then
the first 5
stages are good, and then
I literally never played past that.
Dude, you should see the nonsense that is stage 7.
Oh, actually, I did watch. I watched videos. You're right. Of
that
the elevator and that thing from the top that just dumps on you.
Yeah, constantly,
relentlessly.
Yeah, the last boss is a 15-minute affair if you know what you're doing.
Hey, y'all. I played Joe and Mac a bunch as a kid, and I got to the final boss a couple times, and I didn't beat it. I looked at a long play of it, and it's 10 minutes with no form differences. It's just 10 minutes of fighting this dumb devil. I watch it, Google a long play. He's doing as best as he can, and it takes 10 minutes to do this dumb fucking boss.
I never got to the end. Why are you fighting a devil?
You go into the T-Rex's tummy and there's a devil in there. And
of course.
Fight him for 10 minutes.
It makes total sense.
That wasn't in the... I looked at the arcade version, and the arcade version was for humans apparently because it's way shorter.
Yeah.
But then the SNES version
they got
just
money to
ends
make.
with this garbage.
That's great.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I'm sorry I distracted you there.
No, I love the distractions though.
Yeah, it was a really good one. That was a good diversion.
Yeah, that was a good tangent. I think that's my overwhelm. Rat.
Oh, we're back to me already.
Yeah, we're back to you already.
I got one other thing. So I figure 13.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah, I'm just gonna package my other thing up into one segment too. So.
Okay. So I played one more game this morning.
Oh, this morning.
Yeah, I started and finished a very enjoyable, fun, hilarious game.
I'm not convinced of those adjectives at all.
I had a great time playing Sonic Forces.
I did not like I did not think that you would beat this in literally one sitting.
It wasn't one sitting. It was like I played like a third of it and then got lunch and then came back and sat down and I kept getting further and I was like, yeah, I'm just going to beat this thing, huh?
So
because I knew it was like short and then it ended up being maybe a little longer than I actually thought. So I beat it in like 4 hours.
So here's the thing. Rhett sent me this game on Steam for Thanksgiving, and I think that he did so because he wanted to play it himself.
I wanted to play it myself.
That's the fucking reason.
I'm such a fucker.
You are such a fucker.
But I wanted the shame of it being on your account.
Yeah, it's on my fucking account. Because you and John
talking this game up last year, like, this is, well, you can have fun with your Mania, but we're going to be over here playing Sonic Forces.
The
game that looks way better. And then neither of you bought it.
I never said that.
I did, yeah.
I did say that of those two games, I was more interested in Forces because I liked what it was doing from Generations, and because I was kind of done with the 2D Sonic format. I did not in any way sound like the bullshit that just rolled out of your fucking mouth.
Really? Because it kind of sounds like the same thing. Like, oh, I'm not going to play Mania. I want to play something good.
I'm going to play the Sonic game with a mature story for a mature person like me.
It's a very mature story from what I hear.
Oh my god. Okay. So this game, I love it because it is firing 10 out of 10 at all times. And occasionally 11 out of 10 in stupidity.
I'm on board.
It's like the dumbest game I've ever played, but because they're playing it so straight,
that's what makes it.
It's literally like that incredibly rare area of so bad it's good.
They actually hit it.
They hit it because the game doesn't actually play that poorly. Like, it's not glitchy, you're not falling through floors. There are a few
seconds. It's basically the Generations engine.
It's weird in that it's Generations, but it does feel a little worse. Like, they somehow did fuck it up a bit.
Yeah, they did fuck up some of the momentum. I know that they did, yeah.
Especially 2D Sonic, or Classic Sonic, feels way worse in this than he did in Generations. And I'm just like, how? How did you fuck that up? But, even modern Sonic just feels a little stiffer than he did before. Yeah. And I've played Generations a lot. It's stiffer, but not, unplayable. The game will do what you want it to do. And, the homing attacks don't fail and stuff. I'm not going to say I never kind of flew off into nowhere and died. But usually there was a reason, I did something wrong here. There's one attack that's just a drill fist. Mm-hmm. And just you can charge that thing off and just go flying off into nowhere.
Nice.
But the story seems to be taking itself so seriously.
Well, because Sonic fucking dies.
So Sonic gets
Spoilers.
Sonic gets the shit kicked out of him 2 missions in, maybe 1 mission in.
It's literally after the first mission.
And then they're talking about how Sonic's been tortured for the last 6 months by Eggman because Eggman doesn't want to kill him right now. He wants Sonic to see him take over the world, then kill him. And they say there's some line about Tails losing it, but then when you finally meet him, he's just fine.
He's perfectly normal.
But the funny thing is that Tails runs into Classic Sonic. So, there's almost this aspect of, he's just hallucinating Classic Sonic.
Oh no!
But that's just my dumb interpretation. Like by the end, they all see classic Sonic, and he's clearly there. The other thing is that they use the Phantom Emerald from Mania in this a fucking ton.
Oh yeah, they tried to make that a real big deal in Mania. I remember.
Yeah, so it's way more of a big deal here. It's the entire like crux of the story, the last half of the story.
Yeah,
where they're talking about the Phantom Emerald. It's a virtual reality projector, and I'm like, is that what's happening in Mania? Is everything in Mania like old levels because this gem is projecting them? I'm so confused now.
That's the explanation we pull out of our ass now.
I guess like that's the only way the plot in Mania makes sense. Is that they're not actually in these places. It's just an illusion.
Remember the map, Rhett?
The map was a fan thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, and the main villain is just Edge.
Yeah,
like,
Edge.
They made a super edgier version of Infinite.
Yes.
And in English, he's voiced by Liam O'Brien, who does War in the Darksiders games.
Oh, wow. That's real good.
It's very good. And it's just, like, the funny thing about this game, though, like, the game itself, it's the most pure of, like, all the modern games, I think. Where,
like, define that.
Like, Unleashed, you'd have the really fun modern Sonic section, and then have to play as the werewolf for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Colors, you'd have the really fun first level, and then kind of have those side areas that weren't as fun.
Just like these much shorter...
Those much shorter, much weaker areas. Yeah. When in this game, you're kind of always doing the fast, super fast nonsense, where, like, this game is just boost to win, basically, probably more than any of the others. But it's just fun, and it works with how dumb the story is, where it's like, you watch these absurd cutscenes where these talking animals are taking this way too seriously. They're talking about their resistance is being wiped out. We're down to 20% of our forces here.
See, this is why I really dig Sonic 06, is because it's taking itself so damn literal.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited for it to get back to that tone a little bit. Since Generation Colors were really like...
They're very cartoony.
Jokey.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But the thing about Sonic 06 is that it also plays fucking horribly, whereas this plays good enough, where it's not a glitchy mess. It's just like, hey, you just hold boost for a while and you get to the end of the level. and it's
watch colors go by you.
It's very pretty too. Like, it's probably maybe not quite as good as Generations, but I also upgraded my PC, Whisper.
There you go.
And it's very nice looking.
That seems like it would be so expensive to just have even like 3 or 4 hours of that level of play going by you all the time.
One of the things, though, is that there's over 20 levels in this game, but they reuse environments like a lot. Okay. So like
they get mileage out of those assets.
Yeah, there's only actually like 7 areas, which is on the lower side, I think, for these games.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what's super weird is that, and then 2 of them, one of them is Green Hill and one of them's Chemical Plant.
Because of fucking course.
And they get some mileage out of those too, where like Green Hill is like a desert now, and Chemical Plant, like they'll play up different colors and music each time you visit it.
That's cool.
But yeah, it does kind of have this feeling of like you're not going anywhere, because in the first 4 levels you see like 4 of the environments, and then you kind of keep going back to it. It's like, oh, another Green Hill zone, oh, another Chemical Plant visit. And then towards the end of the game, you know, they bring out kind of the end game levels, and it changes it up a bit. And then the story just such nonsense.
Is there anything in it as bad as Sonic Generations' final boss?
No, I actually don't think so.
That's
like,
good.
The final boss I thought was the hardest part of the game, and I did die a couple times there, but I always knew why I died. And that's pretty important.
Yeah.
Because with Generations,
nobody fucking knows how that works.
I don't know why I died or got hit on that boss. Whereas this one, I go, oh yeah, the laser hit me, duh. I didn't jump at the right time.
Yeah.
But the final boss of Generations is fucking nonsense. But this whole game is characters yapping at you like the Generations final boss.
Yeah.
like incessant amounts of talking.
They're very active.
So
I mean, this is an ongoing war, Rhett. It's a war of attrition. These people need your help. They need your avatar. They need your avatar, Rhett.
There is a line in the game. I forget what one character says, and he's like, "Well, this isn't very fun." And another character goes like, "It's not supposed to be fun. That's why it's called war." And I'm like, "What? What the hell?"
That's so
that game's very good.
What about your avatar? What'd you think of the avatar stuff?
Oh, that's the other thing I meant to mention is that after like every single time you do a mission, which is either beating a level or like some achievement like beating a level with an S rank or like really dumb shit like use the stomp as Sonic. Every time you beat any sort of objective like that, you get like 5 pieces of avatar clothing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just a fucking ton of it.
Yeah.
And then a lot of it is also very goofy. Like there are Crocs in the game for shoes.
Nice.
There's a hat. There's hats that say gamer on it.
Oh, good.
Can you be a Croc?
Can
you be a Croc?
I don't think you can actually play as a Croc. The playable races are all pretty basic, where it's like cat, dog, bear. Like they all have very kind of round features. I played as a bird just because he's the only one that looks a little different, and because I'm making this character. I'm like, well, what do I want to do? I don't want to be like Jeremy the Hedgehog or something stupid.
That's what I'm gonna make. That's what I'm gonna make.
So then I'm playing with it, and I'm just like, what if I just make the pink birdie from Sonic Adventure and be like, he's edgy now?
Not so cute 19 years later.
So they give you a weapon at the start, and it's a fucking flamethrower. And then you can unlock other weapons, like the second one's like an electric whip, and they're all kind of tied to the wisps from Sonic Colors, which I don't know why those are still a thing, because they don't really make any sense story-wise anymore.
No, it's pretty...
But they keep using them.
Yeah, they do.
So all the weapons are kind of based off one of those guys, and then you find them in the levels. And if you have the right weapon equipped, you can use their power, which is very weird. Like, certain paths will only be available if you have certain weapons equipped. But I just like the flamethrower, because it's fucking hilarious.
Because it's a flamethrower. You're using a flamethrower in a Sonic the Hedgehog game. Like, what could be better?
The electric whip is pretty good, too. And then one of them is just a big, like, rocket fist.
There you go.
Will get you killed, because it's slow to charge up, and then you just go vaulting forward. Yeah, that game is a good dumb time.
That's good.
Like, if you paid $60 for this, I understand that you'd be pissed.
But this was a $40 game at launch.
Oh, it was
fair.
Was it 40? Really?
Yeah, it was 40.
Okay, that's not as bad. But maybe 10 is the appropriate price for it.
Which you can get it for right now
on Steam.
Really now?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna play through that this week.
Cool. I wouldn't be surprised if you hate it, but like, because like it's not a good game.
I'm not I'm looking like I'm okay.
Stupid game.
Look, I know what to expect when I go into a Sonic game.
Yeah.
So I think my expectations have been pretty Sonic Generations kind of just succeeded in the way it did because my expectations were so low.
Aww.
Like I had no hope for that game, and then they literally put it on sale like 2 weeks after it came out for $10 or $20, and then I got it. It was like, oh shit, no, this game's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's so weird that this feels a little worse in every area, but like, it's also like, man, if reviewers didn't like Generations, then of course they're not going to like this. But I feel like you guys are being a little hard on Sonic.
But I think that's kind of...
People are so weird about Generations.
I know, yeah.
People don't like the Boost Sonic, and I'm like...
Boost Sonic is just fun, though.
Yeah, like there's still a lot of fun things you can do with Boost Sonic. There are still ways to get to different paths with Boost Sonic. Like, it's just like, hey, the option to just hold Boost and win is there. If you want to play it the boring way, you can still have fun with it.
Every time... I remember finding jumping on the little extra path in Chemical Plant Zone. There's a couple of those.
Yeah. Man, like Chemical Plant's alternate paths are so good.
jumping on the helicopter at the start of the...
That one's really good.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's some alternate paths like that in Sonic Forces, and every time I found one, I was like, "Aw, you guys tried."
It's a great back of the box quote right there. Aw, you guys tried.
Like, there's one that does kind of a similar thing to the helicopter, where you're at the very start of the level, you're going down this very steep ramp, and I'm just like, what if I jump and hit that crosswalk over there? And then I totally landed on it, and it just led to a different part of the level. I'm like, oh my god, it worked. That's really cool.
Jumping on the side paths at the very start of Chemical Plant.
Yeah, that one is ridiculous.
Love that shit.
Like,
Love that shit.
Like in Sonic Adventure 1, you would just fall through that.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't have hit detection.
That would just be a death field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like Boost Sonic.
I think it's totally fine.
Me too, but I'm just not sure how they continue to evolve it.
Yeah. Bring back the werehog.
We need Sonic Adventure 3. That's going to be the way that they make it good again.
People keep saying that, and I don't think they know what they mean.
We need BioWare to make a new Sonic RPG.
Oh, yeah. Finally. That went over real well.
Budget.
Yeah, with the Mass Effect budget, not with the licensed game budget they were given.
Yeah.
Where they couldn't make music.
They couldn't even make the music fucking work.
The one thing that's crazy in Sonic Forces is that the music in the 2D Sonic levels, I keep saying 2D Sonic, classic Sonic levels, it feels like a rough approximation of Genesis music by somebody who hasn't heard Genesis music in like 30 years.
Oh no.
Because it's just using the wrong kind of sound fonts entirely.
Yeah.
It's very weird. And then there's a DLC where you play a Shadow for 3 levels, which is like 15 minutes tops. And it just has a bunch of remixes of Sonic Adventure 2 stuff, and I very much appreciated that.
Well, there you go. You got... The DLC was worth something, I suppose.
Yeah, it's literally free DLC as well, so...
Oh, yeah. It did come
It just adds it to your account.
Oh, right.
They were like, we can't charge for this.
I think it's got Persona 5 gear in it, too.
I didn't see that, but it should... I think you have to, like, manually register that one. It doesn't just... But it's still free anyways.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And you got the casino board.
No, that's Generations.
That's Generations. That was kind of a waste.
Ugh. Yeah, sell it as a level, even though it's fucking not a level.
It's not even a level. It's just go get some rings and get some lives. That's literally it.
Yeah. Also, when you fight Metal Sonic, the remix is a Sonic CD American soundtrack version, which I also appreciated.
The better of the two.
Because Mania only used the Japanese soundtrack for the remix there. Generations did both, which was also very awesome.
Yes.
I really struggle to work up strong opinions about either Sonic CD soundtrack.
You don't have the nostalgia.
Yeah, I have an opinion. I like my biggest opinion is that Sonic CD is crap. So, I like some of the music though. It's all right.
Yeah, I like Sonic Boom theme, not the other the weird PS2 version of Sonic they tried to make everyone like for 5 years.
What the cartoon's real good.
That's cool.
Sonic Boom is real good. Like it's snappy.
Okay, I've heard that.
It is legitimately funny.
Cool.
But the games are bad.
Oh, that game, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird that they have a Sonic cartoon that does like the Saturday morning cartoon humor really well, and they can't seem to really translate that into the game's writing.
Yeah, that is so weird. You'd think that they would just kind of get those people to write the cutscenes in the video game, because the cutscenes in the game portion of Sonic games these days are just kind of very compartmentalized. So, game designers, go make some levels, and then, cutscene team, go write some funny cutscenes. Boom, you got a good game.
Yeah. So there's one more thing I was thinking about talking about. I'm not sure. So if you want to cut me off, Paul,
go for it.
Zombieland Saga.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Which I mentioned last time. Very good show.
Zombie girls rap battling. It's all good.
Zombie girls rap battling, doing death metal and idol stuff. Mm-hmm. They did a very special episode last time, right after we did the podcast. Mm-hmm. So I guess spoilers here. basically, they revealed that one of the girls is transgender.
Uh-oh, that's going to go over real well with anime fans.
And it was a really sweet episode, and then I found out firsthand just how fucking awful the anime community can be.
Now, let me tell you how fucking weird people are about this, is that I saw a tweet chain yesterday of somebody that had literally made their Twitter account like 15 to 20 minutes prior just to misgender a cartoon character. Like, dog, do you have nothing going on in your life?
Obviously not. And apparently there's a whole lot of shitheads like that, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
Who just willfully, completely misinterpret what the show is saying, go against what the official Twitter account is saying.
The creator!
Yeah. And then spreading false narratives about, oh, well, Crunchyroll mistranslated this because they're pushing an agenda.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's my favorite. That one's my favorite.
That one made me really mad, because then I saw people start buying into it for a day, and then they're realizing, like, oh, wait, this is being pushed by certain shitheads.
Whoops. Fucking idiots.
Yeah. So anime is great, but anime fans are mistakes.
Stay the fuck far away from anime fans. I say this as somebody who watches anime.
Yeah, I know. It's how we know. I saw a whole lot of people very happy about the episode, though, and that made me feel better.
Yeah, like, it seemed that the reception was very well handled. It seemed like the episode and show handles it very well, and I think that's really awesome. And which is so shocking. Weird, because Japan, not always super known for their super progressive ideals or presenting that in their media at all.
If anything, they're known for not handling it well in anime.
Yeah. It's a very that's a very cool thing to have seen happen, and fuck all the people that like want to shit all over it. I think it's really cool that there's something out there for people to grab onto like that and relate to. I think that's really awesome, and it's ballsy. I commend them for that.
And I just didn't expect it from this show.
Yeah, that's not like, if you were to tell me there was a transgender character in a show, the show that has rap battling zombies is not the one that I thought would be the one to handle this subject matter and handle it well.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, they don't make a huge deal out of it. Like, it's not the entire crux of the episode.
And that's the point.
But it's but it's definitely
there. You don't need to make a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So cool and so nice.
Until you read the forums, and then it's not so nice anymore.
Don't ever do that.
Don't. Oh, God, people are the worst, though. Holy shit.
Yeah. That's how you deal. Like, I don't know how people survive online. Like, I don't know how people aren't fucking tired all the time with as much energy as they spend being negative about things that don't even affect them. Like, dog, come on. You are so miserable. Oh, whatever. It's the internet. Yeah. That's what you do, though. You gotta be internet tough guy. Can't have feelings on the internet. Yeah. Anything else, Rhett?
No, I'm all spent.
So how about we take ourselves a 5-minute break.
Okay.
And give everybody a chance to get up, stretch yourself out, and we will be back to finish up the back end of this show. Stay tuned. Or something. poop, 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 poop. I'm saying the word poop on the internet. Poop, 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 poop. I'm saying the word poop on the internet. That's
the maturity you come to this podcast for.
Exactly. That's my song. I called it "I'm Saying Poop on the Internet." That's gonna be on my next mixtape.
Cool.
Yeah.
Dropping December 7th.
It's dropping December 7th.
Brett's actually got a cover of it on his album.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we did like a cross promo thing. Like,
I actually covered it before you wrote it.
Yeah,
it
was really kind of weird. It's that future interacting with the past thing that it's just real fucking weird.
I sent you a D-mail that just said poop. I knew what would happen.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it took. So appropriate.
John is like, what?
No, I'm sipping my cranberries.
I never liked cranberry juice. It was never my thing. It's a little too tart for me, I think.
I mean, I drink the cocktail juice that has a shit ton of sugar in it. Like
okay, that probably makes it better.
Yup.
Takes some of the wang off.
Yeah.
Wang. Remember when people used to say wang instead of dick? For that hot minute?
I think if you give Red a lot of sugar, you can get his wang off.
Probably. I'll be finding out real soon, don't worry.
Oh, that kind of get off.
Yeah, get off. Like as in ejaculate.
Yeah, I got it.
Coming.
And sugar is in kissing.
It's like that other thing that comes out of your pee-pee.
Mm.
It's not yellow. If it is, you probably want to see a doctor.
Well, maybe Red's into that.
No. Fuck off.
The yellow.
Guys, I think we're gonna finish a podcast.
Oh my god!
I
think we're doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what did Polly play. I'm trying to figure out what Polly's last thing is going to be.
Oh, it's two things.
Yeah, I should know, but I'm just blanking.
Red is on top of your media.
Yeah, he's real
consuming at all times.
Red is always on top of me. Don't worry. It's another sex
We're
joke.
actually just going to talk about moon pies for 20 minutes.
Dude, I probably could. I love moon pies, okay?
I miss moon pies. I didn't appreciate them enough when I could still eat them.
See? And
That's a metaphor for life.
It is!
You miss out on 100% of the moon pies you don't eat.
You do. That is actual... That's like cosmic math right there.
It's true.
So is everybody back from break? Are we doing good now? Are we ready to...
I'm on top of the world.
Are we ready to roll back in? Rhett, throw it to me.
So, Polly, what you been up to?
I hate video games.
Oh, right. What? Christ, I can't believe I forgot this one. I even joked about it at the start.
I fucking hate video games. I don't know why I try anymore.
No,
they're awful. So...
Ending the episode. John, what have you been up to? We want to stay positive.
Go for it, Polly.
Okay. So
the truth must be spoken.
I've spent the last 12 months listening to Rhett over there have a big old boner for the Yakuza games. And he's wrong. Look, I tried to play Yakuza 0 like 500 times over the course of an entire week. I gave that game 13 hours of my life.
I got banned from posting that comic too many times.
Yeah. like, oh my god. Okay, so I don't fucking get it. Like, okay, the thing that I liked about Yakuza 0 was the story and the characters and the way that the drama pieces are set. Like, it's presented like real Japanese dramas. So, and that's where it draws a lot of its inspiration from. And I really liked that part. I liked learning about these two characters who are very different, yet pulled toward one another under these very cool and interesting circumstances. That is a really cool story. And I wanted to know more. But the game that is there to facilitate me learning those things is not good. It is very bad. I don't like how the combat feels, first and foremost, because nothing really feels like it flows at all. And it feels like all they do is like lock you into a square with like 18 guys, and then it's just kind of a clusterfuck. And you press buttons and things happen sometimes, and then sometimes they don't happen. And that's the part that gets me the most mad. But, like, really, like, nothing feels good. Like, I didn't feel the impact of anything I was doing, even though, like, you're doing all of these just crazy, off-the-wall nonsense heat moves that just would literally kill somebody.
Yeah.
15 times over. Violent. It's very violent, and I like that, but I didn't feel it because I never really felt that, like, things transition there very well, or I never felt that, just like the normal punching and kicking, it's just like it all feels like they are all separate moves and they don't kind of like flow into one another, so it's very jagged and stilted in a way that, like, I've played other third-person brawler games that manage that way better, and I just think that the combat feels like garbage, and like the RPG elements they add to it, like with like investing money into buying new moves that you're never gonna fucking use, or like, good God, is it me, or is like half of the fucking like over 75% of that fucking circle are things that I never wanted to buy because it's just like, it's so fucking situational. I'm never going to use that. Like, how do you? It
depends what it is. Like, what do you? Can you give an example?
Like, okay, like you can do this very specific move, but you have to have 3 heat bars, and it has to be Sunday, and
it's nothing like that.
It does get that situational, though. It does get situational to where it's like you can only have 2 heat bars, but if you have 3, you can't use it. So what's the fuck point? Like dumb shit like that. Like, it's like, I'm never gonna use this. And it's just like, you have to buy those to get to the things that you do want. It's the problem that I have with games like Diablo 1 and 2, where it's just like, I have to buy a bunch of crappy stuff I don't want to get the good stuff that I want, whereas Diablo 3 is like, here, just buy something. Or build your character any way you want. Just put, like, whatever. It's all linear progression. I feel that that's handled much better because I don't have to go through buying all the crap that I don't want.
I mean, the escalation on the price on those circles is such that
so stupid.
Yeah, like they jump up like 10x every round.
Yeah, and then you could get
so
mugged.
Like you're just gonna buy all the middle stuff.
Yeah, don't get bugged by Mr. Shakedown though, man.
He's hard.
He's real fucking hard. He will knock you the fuck right out. Yeah, I beat him a lot of times though, so I ended up with a shit ton of money, but.
You think you do, but then you play some of those mini games later and get like,
oh my God,
literally hundreds of millions.
Yeah, I did the
like
pool
even
one.
I could never afford the end stuff.
Yeah, I did the billiards mini game, and like I came into the pool hall with like, I don't know, 6 million, and I left with like 75 million.
Oh wow.
If you're gonna play Yakuza, here's my suggestion. Does a minigame involve you actually using controls? Don't play it. Is the minigame bowling? Okay, you can play that. That's good.
Oh, good. Oh, thank God.
I like bowling.
I like the bowling at least.
Yeah, the bowling's good. I like the billiards too, but like I played some billiards in my time, so kind of knew a little bit about that. Let's see. I didn't think any of the side quest stories were good at all, and I would just like, I just want to mainline it to the story. Can I just do the good stuff? Like, I'll even suffer through bad gameplay if I can just, see this story through, because I like where it's going. I like what we're building up to. And then I got to a mission.
It's not that bad.
It's not good either. It's a dumb fucking stealth mission that doubles as an escort mission. And like
it's underwater.
And it should be timed as well. But, like, fucking shit. Like, not only is it an escort mission, it's a stealth mission, and then the stealth is kind of fake, too, because by the time you get to the end, they make you just fight anyway. Yeah. And, like, she just gets immediately fucking stomped. And I did this 3 times. They let you retry that fight. And I did this, like, 3 or 4 times. I was just like, fuck this! Like, I cannot keep the enemy's attention off of her. So it was just...
I honestly didn't have that trouble.
I got to the point to where I just said, fuck that. Like, I've given this... Like, I had start and stop with this game over the course of, like, 12 hours. And it's just like, you know what? I'm forcing myself to try and enjoy this. This is not going to work. It's just not going to work. These games are not for me. I think they feel bad. I think they play bad. I think the people that like them are they're good. They're good people. They're good people whose taste in video games may be a little suspect.
Well, I did just praise Sonic Mania or Sonic Forces for like 20 minutes.
That's a good point. That's all the evidence I'll ever need to claim that your taste in video games is suspect from here on.
Suspect.
Yeah, Yakuza's not for me.
It's not for you.
That's the thing. Like, I played through 3 on PS3, though.
And you didn't finish it, though, did you?
Yes, I did.
Wait, really?
Yes, I played this, like, back in... Like, when did that get released here? Because I know, like, there was a big controversy over, like, minigames.
2007?
Yeah, there were, like...
6, maybe?
Yeah, there were, like, minigames cut out of it. I remember that was the big thing.
Oh, yeah, they cut, like, all the Hostess Bar stuff.
Yeah. But, like, I played through that one, and it was just like,
You finished it.
And then I played this and was like, oh, wow, this is, like... really bad. This is as bad as I remember. This is like all the stuff that I remembered not liking.
You finished 3?
Yes.
I'm honestly dumbfounded. 1, because that's like the only one I haven't played now. And 2, because I thought you got like 3 hours in and we're still at the orphanage and we're like, fuck this.
No, I finished 3.
I can't believe that. I mean, I believe it, but I never knew that.
I'll pull up the fucking save file and take a picture of it for you, fucker.
I just remember you talking about the orphanage shit lasting forever.
Yeah, it does.
And I guess that I took that to mean you never got past it.
Maybe I said that. I don't know. I can't remember what I say on this podcast.
I think this was pre-podcast. I think you just told me that.
Shit, maybe. Who knows?
I legit made up in my head that Paulie had played a game.
Maybe
I was playing and hated it.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe 2006 me came to 2018 you and told you that because she hadn't beaten it yet.
Uh-huh.
That was one of those I'm fucking quitting this game moments where she said, fuck it, I'm not playing this anymore. Maybe that was it.
Because I was like, man, if there's one thing Polly's not going to like about Yakuza 0, it's definitely not the combat. She'll like the combat. It's going to be how slow the story starts, though. Boy.
I like the tension that the story had. I like the tension that they build and the way Yakuza 0's story builds as it goes. And I'm like watching a Let's Play of it now, so I don't have to deal with it. I don't have to deal with
Giant Palm one.
No, I'm watching KZ Excellent.
Okay.
He's a fun Let's Player that I like to watch every now and again. He's doing the Trails in the Sky games at the moment as well. So shout out to KZ Excellent. He's fun. Little problematic at times. Might say a few wordy dirds here that may put a few people off, but yeah, he's a good guy. I like him. So yeah, Yakuza, not for me. Not gonna be doing that no more. I learned my lesson.
But if you don't like this one, which is the best one.
Yeah, like if I don't like the best one, which is like that's what most people seem to agree on, like there is no way I'm looking at the other ones. Fuck you.
Oh, man. I'd pay you to play Kiwami, the remake of the first one. Because it's like, it's 0, but they made it jank. And those bosses.
No!
The bosses got me mad because they just wait for you to stand up, then knock you down.
Yeah.
Then wait for you to stand up and knock you down.
Well, I ran into a few guys with guns in Yakuza 0 that did that already, so...
It's way worse than Kiwami.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. The bosses in that game are just fucking garbage.
They're actual junk. Like, even I couldn't apologize for some of that shit. There's a move you can get in every game, though, which is just like walk up... It's a heat move. Walk up to a guy with a gun and just take it from him.
Nice.
It's real useful.
That sounds like a move that I would always want.
it's like the one I always use the most. Because you just go up, like swing your head out of the way to dodge a bullet, then just disarm them and take the gun yourself. It's really good.
Shout out to heat moves though.
They're so good.
I will give shout outs to heat moves because they feel real good. I just wish there were more of them.
Every time I see a new one, I flinch because they're so violent.
Yeah, like the fucking slamming head in the car door.
Yeah, that was real bad.
Woo! Man, that one got me pretty good the first time I saw that. I was like, oh my god, that's... Oh! You know, that would literally kill someone 15 times.
Oh, yeah. Majima has some that is just like stab dude in stomach 3 times.
Yeah,
and
dude.
Call them shitty.
Yeah, he's literally got moves that kill people.
Yeah.
Like, literally snap their neck. Like, okay, that's good.
I'll ask you one last thing. What did you think of his intro cutscene?
Real good.
20 minutes long. It's so good, though.
I loved it. It just gives you it tells you so much about that character, but by just him not being himself. That's so good. It's so good. His introduction.
It just keeps going. Like, it's such a crazy... It's almost like that should have been the intro for the game.
Yeah, I did not think that intro, that cutscene was going to be that fucking long.
Yeah.
But it's really, really good.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. But yeah, Yakuza's not for me. But y'all can have it. I don't want it. I won't be taking any of your Yakuza, so you can chow down. Have all you want.
I've had all I wanted this year. I've played 3 of them this year.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
Those games got a lot of hours in them.
And they're kind of samey.
Yeah, they're very samey. I played another video game that I did not like at all.
Oh, jeez.
You had a good run.
I had a real good run this time, huh? Yeah, a good way to close out 2018 by just fucking thinking video games are garbage.
So you're saying they're not going to be on your top 10 list?
Nope, yep. Neither of the 2 games I've discussed today were likely to be on my top 10 end of the year list.
Actually, it turns out she only played 9 games she liked. Yakuza 0 still made it on number 10.
Yeah, just going to have to give that one an honorary number 10. So, I played a game called Under Hero. And this one gutted me because I'd seen previews for it prior to it coming out, and I thought, oh, this actually looks really cool. It's like a side-scrolling platformer with a Paper Mario-esque battle system. And it's rhythm-based, too, so it's got some cool ideas, and it's got a cute little story of... You're a little minion, and you're in the evil overlord's army, and you accidentally kill the hero, and for some reason you've got to finish the hero's quest now to keep balance in the world or something. The story's kind of dumb, and it kind of confused me, honestly, because I had no idea what I was doing. And it's full of that kind of dialogue that thinks it's way more clever than it is, by kind of like trying to give certain characters weird vocal tics or something, or just making them say words in a weird way. That's just kind of like, all right, you're trying way too hard. This doesn't feel natural at all. You want me to laugh here, and I'm not, because it's not.
Is this game trying to be Undertale?
I don't think it's trying to be Undertale because...
I wonder when it came out.
This year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it literally just came out like a month ago or so.
Every time you say Under Hero, I'm like, Undertale. Oh.
No, it gets that comparison a lot, and like the fact that you're like in a monster world, you know,
it's just the name especially.
Yeah, and the name especially, obviously. But oh my god, like the first 2 or 3 hours of this game, I was like, hey, this is a good time. Like everything's working pretty well. Like the platforming, it's very simple, easy breezy stuff. You're kind of like going into areas that, you know, you just explore them at a 2D side. Like it's very Shantae-ish in that way, and that you're kind of just exploring these big like platforming levels, and that's kind of really all you're doing, and then getting into some random encounters. And the battle system's kind of like where things start falling apart, because I went from really thinking that like this got some potential here to be really good to thinking, why these battles take like 8 years to finish? This is real boring. I hate every time I get in a random encounter in this game. I literally want to shoot myself every time I touch an enemy sprite. So the combat is really half-baked in this game. So it's like I said, it's very based on Paper Mario, where like every button, or maybe even the Mario and Luigi games would kind of maybe be the better point of comparison, since you're directly jumping and like batting away enemy attacks and things like that. So you get like a stamina gauge. You can only swing so many times before you get tired, and when you get tired, you can't move or dodge. Your stamina gauge fills up way too slow. It takes 8 majillion years if you make yourself tired, so don't ever get tired, or you'll really be having a worse time ever. The game has a lot of projectile attacks from enemies, and they don't seem to have been properly coded in at all. Because you'll see the enemy, like, enemies telegraph before they do an attack. It's how you know they're going to do a specific kind of attack. So it's very Mario and Luigi in that way. So if you look at what the enemy's doing before its attack goes, you'll know how to dodge it or to block it or something of that nature. So if they're using a projectile attack, though, like, once they finish their telegraph animation, if you just jump, you'll always succeed at dodging the projectile attack, even though the projectile attack just kind of like passes through your character. And it feels real bad. So like you're all like, every projectile attack in the game is just literally just hammer on jump, and then you'll jump once and you'll get credit for the dodge, even though the attack has not come on screen yet. And then you see the attack hit your character and have no effect at all. And then there's a slingshot. The slingshot is the worst weapon I've ever experienced in an RPG battle system ever. You have to manually aim this motherfucker with an analog stick, and you have enemies that are constantly moving, and the pellet that you shoot is very tiny, and it is also very slow. So hitting with the fucking slingshot feels miserable. And there are enemies that can only be destroyed with the slingshot, and those battles take forever. And for some reason, when I played the game, the only way that I could adjust the fucking aim of my goddamn slingshot was up and right for some reason. I like, up would take it up, right would take it down, and it's just like trying to aim it that way felt really fucking weird. And like, I tried to, it's good, like, they let you bribe enemies to let them just like leave you alone. And anytime I got to an enemy that would let me, and I had to use the slingshot on them to kill them, I would just take all my fucking money. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm watching a video right now, and the dude, I'm trying to get to a point where I can see the combat, and he's just literally bribing every enemy. He's like, nope, don't want to fight you.
Yeah.
Nope, don't want to fight you.
They're actually just playing the pacifist route. It's the real way to play it.
It makes me wonder if that game has a pacifist route, because if you pay off an enemy, they hang out and then they talk to you afterward. And so I'm like, I'm wondering if there is some kind of pacifist route in the game or not. But the point to where this game got on my fucking nerves is you get to the second world, and everything kind of starts as it did in the first world. You know, you're just exploring around and stuff, and then it starts throwing the big old ball of tedium at you. First of all, nearly every enemy in the area can only be killed with the slingshot. Who fucking Ray? Loving it already. The levels are designed in such a way that it's a very back and forth kind of level, and once you've beaten the enemies in the area, you're just kind of running back and forth in a big empty space. And then the game decides, hey, I'm not going to have one fetch quest that is multi-part. I got 2 of them. 2 big old multi-part fetch quests through big old boring empty rooms where you're not told where to go, you just have to find out where to go by running around the entire fucking map again. Are you having fun yet? And then there's a side quest where you run into an NPC who will not let you enter a door. He will let you in a door if you mix him the proper drink. He will not give you any hints as to what the proper drink is, nor will anybody else in the area. So you have to go back to the kitchen, and there are 12 things that you can choose from to make a 3-part concoction. So you have to go, make a drink, take it to him, note his reaction to each individual element, and then try again. And it's not just getting all 3 elements. They have to be put in the drink in the proper order as well. So it's constant back and forth bullshit. And then to top all of that off, where this game literally made me say, nuh-uh, fuck you, I'm done. There are enemies that will, if you run into them in the dark, they will carry you back to the beginning of the fucking world. So you have to traipse your way all the way back, up 2 to 3 flights of stairs and through 3 or 4 doors to the area. And it is a timed area that is also a door maze. That is when I checked the fuck out. I said, nope, we are done here, Under Hero. Any redeeming qualities you may have beyond this point matter not. For you have literally spent an entire world. Like somebody consciously made this level. Somebody sat down and said, I'm going to put every single annoying obstacle that has ever been invented in a video game. I'm going to put them all in one area. This is my magnum opus. Bow down and suck my dick, plebs. That is what whoever designed that fucking world thinks of themselves. But it's just like, would you not fucking have checked out at that point?
Yeah, that sounds insane.
It's unreasonable.
Turns out if you actually get a little further, the area actually floods.
No, that's the first level.
Really?
Oh. Yeah, you break a beer keg and you flood the entire area.
Shit. I was gonna make another timed underwater
escort
level.
Too late. Nope. Didn't work this time. Damn. So I did some reading, and apparently after you gather the magical doodads that you need to gather, the game makes you go through the first fucking 3 worlds again.
Oh no.
Before you can go to the end game. I'm like, fuck off. What the hell?
When Undertale was like 6 hours long and super breezy, and people loved it, and it sold millions of copies.
This game is literally doing nothing but trying to pad itself. Everything feels like
you don't
padding.
have to now. You don't have to.
Everything in this game is literal padding. This game had a great concept. It had cool ideas and fun things that I thought, I would love this game. No, this game is garbage. Stay the fuck far away from Under Hero. Nobody should play this. It's bad.
It's bad.
That's coming up a lot this episode, isn't it? Yeah. Bad. So I hate video games now. And it's all thanks to Yakuza and Under Hero. That's not true. I did a Let's Play that's starting tomorrow. So
good.
I played
Axelay.
I played a video game this week, and I did a Let's Play of it. So that'll be going up all next week. There you go. There's something to look forward to that nobody will actually fucking watch.
Polly plays Yakuza PS2.
There you go. That's what I did.
The good shit. That and Mother 1. Only ones in the series that really hold together.
Polly plays Sonic 06.
Sonic 06. You know what? I would totally stream Sonic 06 if I had the means.
Oh god.
If I had the means, I would do a 24-hour stream of Sonic 06. No lie. I would play that game until I finished it in one sitting if I had the means, but I don't have a capture card, or I would. I've got the game for 360 though. The best version. Best.
Wait. I mean,
the PS3
that is actually the better one, isn't it?
Yes, the PS3 version is actually a version that is prior to the quote-unquote finalized 360 version.
Fucking insane.
I'm not going to play Xenoverse 2. I'll play Xenosaga 2.
Oh.
And that game's kind of a
Xenoblade
slog.
Bringing all the bangers out tonight.
That game's kind of a slog to play through, but
that was like the original.
That was the original.
Me
fuck
laughing
this.
at you for quitting a game and then going back and finishing it.
It's the story, man. It's the story of Xenosaga that I'm there for. So that's why I kind of like suffered through its kind of battle system.
You had already watched it on YouTube,
and I had already watched it, but it was just like, no, I have to go do this myself. I gotta have that clear file to go into Xenosaga Episode 3, Rhett. You don't get it.
They do that?
Yeah, there's you don't really carry like character levels or anything. You usually just get like some bonus items for having like a 1 or 2 save file. So I like it when games do that though. It's like,
yeah, it's cute.
It's cute. So yeah, like I hate video games, but I did a let's play, so I sort of made myself feel better.
And then next week you'll play Xenoblade 2.
There you go. I'm gonna get right on that Xenoblade.
I played like 20 minutes of Xenoblade 1, and I'm just like, man,
you're gonna finish that one day.
Can't. I just can't.
I vividly remember talking about you playing Xenoblade 1 in 3 moves ago. Like 3 apartments ago.
Yeah. John has been around the world.
I remember that now.
Yeah.
John has been around the world.
I really loved the first like 35 hours of that game, and then it kind of kept going, and it's hard to jump back into it.
I feel like story-wise, I kind of get what those games are doing. I can kind of get down a bit.
It's the combat.
It's the combat that just lacks
so fucking dull.
Yeah, it's dull. It lacks impact. It doesn't.
Yeah, you talk about Yakuza lacking impact. Like, boy, have I got an RPG for you.
Yeah, Xenoblade's combat just feels bleh. At least the sound design in Xenoblade 2 is a lot better. So like stuff kind of like sounds like it's hitting a lot harder, and it's just
the same combat.
It's kind of the same combat though. Yeah, it's a little more active because you've got to do stuff like break down elemental barriers or set up elemental chains and things like that. So it's a lot smarter and it's a lot more involved.
Okay,
but it's still
I don't know if I'll ever play that game.
It's still kind of just that, but just like slightly better.
Yeah, there's like negative impact in Xenoblade 1 though.
Yeah. I remember like when they were showing Xenoblade Chronicles X, when that was kind of a thing, and thinking, holy crap, this looks kind of good, and then it comes out and it's like, oh no, this is real dull and crappy. Because it's like fucking mechs shooting shit. It was just like, yo dog, this is like a futuristic sci-fi RPG shit going on. It looked pretty good, and then it came out and nobody likes it.
Yeah.
Dude, Neo Turf Masters is the shit. The duck in our chat is mentioning Neo Turf Masters, which is a fantastic golf game on the Neo Geo.
Cool.
That is a game everybody should play. That and Windjammers are real good. Jetstorm, it doesn't count. You like every JRPG. There is not an RPG. There is not a single JRPG that Jetstorm 4 won't try to champion. Guarantee it.
Press 64.
Star Ocean.
Star Ocean 4.
Ugh. Ugh. It's cute that the duck in our chat thinks he has a name.
Okay.
So that's kind of it for me. John Thayer, do you have anything else that you would like to elaborate on for us this episode? Kind of help us wind down, I guess.
Sure. You see, I had a very nice Thanksgiving where my family flew up to Chicago and we hung out with some extended family a couple hours outside of town. And I got stay in a hotel room with everyone and just like family, hardcore, in my veins family for like 4 days.
It sounded.
And then I got home. Yeah.
It sounded absolutely lovely, and there wasn't a cunt around to ruin it.
It was absolutely lovely, and there were no cunts around to ruin it. And I wasn't sitting at home alone eating chicken nuggets like last year. So I feel very good about it.
Much more fulfilling.
It was very nice. And I get to go down for 2 weeks on Christmas, so I feel glowing about it.
I like the shirt that they had put together.
Yes.
With your dad's Most famous moment ever, which I'm now bringing up in chat again. I'm throwing it out there for everybody to see.
Excellent.
This is John Thayer's dad got caught on TV reading a book during a football game. He became very famous.
Yep.
They were talking about it on SportsCenter 2 weeks after the fact.
God, it's still pretty wild, huh?
It's pretty
wild.
So
they all got T-shirts made of that with that picture on it, and then posed with him. Yes. And took off his shirt and gave him a book. It was 40 degrees out, and he posed.
Your dad is great.
Champ.
Yeah, he's a champ.
Do you think that's the weirdest thing this shirt printing company has gotten? It's got to be up there. It's pretty weird.
So, but I did have that much social time, so my body reacted by like, okay, let's stay home alone until you have to go to work Monday and just play video games for like 10 hours straight.
That's a solid plan.
It worked out really well. I feel pretty good.
Oh, well, good. Well, let's hear about it.
So I played like 10 hours of a game that I've had my eye on for literal years at this point. Environmental Station Alpha.
I've heard of it.
It is as much as something can be a Metroidvania. This is a Metroidvania from the year 2015. Same year as Axiom Verge. It has a lo-fi, very large pixel aesthetic.
It's very chunky.
Kind of reminds me of Pico 8 games.
Yeah.
And I wanted to play it both because the same dev released the game Baba Is You, which is getting an expanded version sometime next year, and I loved it. It was one of my favorite puzzle games of last year. So I was like, oh, he made this Metroid thing I've heard about. I want to play that too. And also I think that the aesthetic's totally gorgeous. So that was like, yes, I want this. I want this in me. So I played that, and then I started playing it, and then I didn't stop playing it.
Yeah, I noticed. Like, this was like a constant, like, this is, I think, the most I've seen you kind of bear down on one single game for a while.
Yeah.
Today was just me playing Sonic Forces and you playing this. Except I finished like halfway through and then you kept playing Environmental Station Alpha.
Yeah. So, it's a Metroid-type game. You land on an abandoned space station and something has gone horribly wrong. You're a robot and you're going to get to the bottom of this. And that's the premise. So, everything makes sense so far?
Yeah. You know what? Wheelhouse.
Yeah?
They've nailed it. Boom. Let's go.
Cool. You have to it's a space station that is, everything is, it's a series of artificial biomes meant to replicate different environments around the universe so that they can it's an excuse for a bunch of very different places to be on one space station, and you run between them and explore it. But oh wait, there are like different obstacles blocking your path, but you can find power-ups that will let you get past those obstacles, and then you can further explore the area and fill in your map, and have a grand old time and solve the mystery of this abandoned space station.
Are there colored doors?
You played Metroid Fusion?
That's what I was about to say, yeah.
The whole biome thing, when you put it that way.
Yeah, it actually feels a lot like Metroid Fusion, structurally, because it doesn't really let us on at first, but you get a waypoint pretty early on, and then you just kind of keep getting them through most of the game. And something very early on I found out was that I got stuck 30 minutes into this game. Like, I had no idea. I had thought that they'd explored every single path.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that. While playing Environmental Station Alpha, there is basically one way for you to progress at any given time. You have one way forward, and you have to find it. And if you misinterpret the block that lets you progress through that area, then you are going to be stuck for a little bit. So, yeah, in that sense, it's like Metroid Fusion, in that it's very linear and very closed off and extremely restrictive.
I'm getting Strider. I'm getting Strider 2013 vibes here.
Yeah, but that game's ugly. This game's gorgeous. So
yeah, Strider is kind of ugly. It's very gray.
Jesus.
It's very gray.
Also, this game feels very good. There's a lot of weight to your motion. And I think the way that it expands your movement arsenal, it has a great hook shot. Actually, it just has a really good hook shot that has a lot of nuance to it. There was a couple times where I got around a soft gate using the hook shot, and then the game was like, "Oh no, you silly boy! You can't go here right now. Go on, go back. Sorry about that." And they'll just have like a hard gate right after it.
That's all how I felt about Axiom Verge. Is that every single time I got a power up in that game, I was like, "Oh, this is the one that's going to crack it all open," and I'd go back to these places and then get past a gate, and then immediately have another gate behind that I couldn't do yet. And it's just like, no, just go towards the thing we're pointing you towards.
Just what are you doing, you dumb idiot child? Why aren't you just progressing the fucking story? I hate you for this. But you, come on. God.
I wanted to like the visuals in Environmental Station Alpha, but it's almost like it's too busy because the pixels are so fucking huge, where there's a lot of times where I couldn't tell, like, oh, that's background, because it's a little bit brighter than everything, but it's still background. It looks like foreground.
Yeah,
it just seemed a little messy.
I think it's usually pretty good about being clear about what's what. And there are times where it's intentionally being ambiguous because
maybe that's it. It's trying to fuck with you.
So I get that. Very early on, I misread a tile. Like, oh, I can jump up through this. Never mind. And that got me stuck for like 10, 15 minutes. I start whining to you and on Twitter. So I get the communication issue there.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced that that's something that would be fixed by having higher resolution, but it's an interesting challenge, and also it's obviously makes things easier when you're working in the much lower resolutions, I think. Not in the sense of like there's a whole art to fitting a lot of information into your pixels, but it does take less time to make assets at a lower resolution, and I appreciate that, and it's helping me think about how I'd want to make something in this style. So that is the critical fault with this game, is that it is so restrictive. You run around the first area, and there are like 5 different kinds of hard gates you run up against. There's red blocks, blue blocks, yellow blocks. There's green blocks in one area.
The green blocks are clever though. That's the ones where it's like a switch, right?
Yeah, but you don't know it's a switch for a little bit. So it's like, there's green blocks too. Okay, that's fine. There's things you can only get past with the horizontal dash. There's other ones that you can only get past once you have the vertical dash. You get a double jump early on. Height is a big issue. You need the hook shot. So the hook shot and the double jump ones are fine. Like I'm fine with those kind of spatial barriers generally, but the blocks are just insufferable.
Yeah.
And you can't get past all of them until you're like 2/3 in. So it is never rewarding to stray from the critical path to try to explore until the very end of the game, and even then, not really. Well, there's one gun you can get right before the final boss, and if you don't have it, I think it would make the already very hard final boss really rough. So I'm glad I found that, but God, it's very restrictive. But I still played like 10 hours.
Yeah, you just... Well, I mean, look, like, games like this can be like bag of Doritos, kind of. Like, you sit back, you crack open the bag of Doritos.
Oh, Polly, I'm hungry now. I want some Doritos.
You eat one.
I want some Doritos.
You eat another, and suddenly, like, oh shit, 3/4 of the bag is gone. Like, it can happen with these kinds of games. It's very easy.
Yeah. I don't think that I played it for 10 hours is necessarily like, oh, so I guess it's automatically doing something right.
No.
The format of these games is already good, just good brain candy. Yeah. So just watching those map squares fill in is already so compelling.
I think because this game is relatively difficult, like for me it was like, I don't want to let this fucking game win. Like, I'm going to push through this. Because the bosses are hard.
They are hard.
It's a pretty challenging game for that genre, like the entire way through.
Yeah.
And then the last boss is just kind of fucked.
Yeah, even then the last boss felt fucked in a way that I kind of dug.
Yeah,
it sort of feels like Mega Man X1 Sigma. It's very much riffing on that style. you really have to know how that fucking invulnerability dash works if you want to get through those attack patterns. Yeah. You know how Hollow Knight gives you that invulnerability dash right at the end, so there's like 2 bosses that use it. You get a similar thing very early on in Environmental Station Alpha, so there's a lot of bosses that are just these wall attacks you have to dash through very carefully. And I enjoyed that. I really liked the movement. I especially like the sweet spot was when I didn't have the dashes, but I had the double jump and the hook shot because I had to use the hook shot to get around in really cool ways. But even beyond that, the bosses really put the dash to good use. The bosses are much better than Axiom Verges.
Oh, the bosses in Axiom Verge are garbage.
They're bad.
Like, they get progressively worse.
I said the same thing earlier. I'm like, Axiom Verge is so weird because the first few bosses are okay. There's that one really huge one that like you have to take out multi-stage, and then they just kind of fucking suck for the last half.
Yeah, it's just kind of like...
the last boss is the worst.
The last boss is just a damage race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Even then, though, like, people were really horny for the bosses, and they're straight memorization bosses. There's almost none of them have any randomness to them. Like, that's an important thing, I think, is that they have a pattern and they stick to it rigidly, and the whole fight is figuring out how to deal with that pattern. Which, there's lots of fights that do that. Contra Hardcore does that a lot. It can be really fun.
Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon, all of its bosses are pattern-based.
Yeah, so I can dig that, but my favorite kinds of action game bosses tend to be the more kinetic ones, like in Mega Man X, Mega Man Zero, or Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight's bosses are better than this,
Hollow Knight's bosses are pretty good.
Hollow Knight's bosses are pretty good.
Yeah.
So I think I would have, if I'd played this in 2015, I would have been like, oh my god, these bosses, I'm just, this is the best thing in the whole universe. This is better than all the drugs at once, orgasming times 100.
Come on. You'd played Hunters by that point.
That's true.
Yeah. Hunters is way better than this game.
Hunters is much better than this game. Because it's not just a fucking straight Super Metroid.
No, it's honest about being a straight.
Yeah, that's why Hunters works. If you haven't played Hunters: Relic of Stars, it's one of Rhett's finest achievements game-wise.
Yep.
Go play that. It's amazing. But yeah, it's because the game is very specifically riffing, but I compare Hunters to the same way I look at Joymaster games, where they're very much riffing on a concept, but still kind of adding their own identity to that.
I was just thinking that Hunters is more a straightforward action game, whereas this is trying to do that Super Metroid structure, but it doesn't let you break. It keeps you in a very tight box and doesn't let you out of it at all. And Hunters is just a really fun action game all the time. So that's
also it's more honest about not letting you stray from the path. Is what I was saying. Yeah, because it gives you those big maps, but then it's just like, but you have one way.
You will only be traversing the rooms of this map in one fucking path.
Yeah.
Yep. And it starts out with pattern bosses, but then end of stage 3, you get that dragon fight, and things start getting more kinetic. Mm-hmm. So Hunters is better than Environmental Station Alpha and Axiom Verge, for that matter.
Oh. I would say that. Yeah, I would agree to that. As much as I like Axiom Verge, I would agree that Hunters is better.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to totally sidetrack you there.
No, it's cool. So it feels really good. There are very few collectibles. There's only a tiny handful of health upgrades, and then there's there's I think 2 gun upgrades total. The hook shot, a couple of other upgrades. It's very especially the verb set is very economical. You don't have a lot. It's not like 10 billion buttons like Axiom Verge gives you. Even though this game is longer than Axiom Verge, it has like a third as many verbs at a given time. So I like the feel of it. I like the end game movement set more than Axiom Verge's, I think. Although Axiom Verge is much, much cleverer about gating, since it doesn't just fucking do the red block, blue block, yellow block bullshit.
Yeah, Axiom Verge still does that,
But it hides it because you don't know the power-ups going in.
Yeah.
Like when you start walking through walls in that game, you're just like, oh,
this
okay.
Is like they put a clever twist on it. Like it was like before I'd played Hollow Knight, I thought Axiom Verge was like this is the best one of these of the modern era that we have right now. And then I played Hollow Knight and was just like, oh, okay, you just literally wrote the end of a genre. Nice.
Yep. I came off a little cold on Axiom Verge because the story didn't land for me the way I wanted to, and with the glitch stuff especially. And I was just really bothered by how bloated the interactions got, I guess.
Yeah, I get that.
Like when you could touch any block with both the drill or the corruption gun, and it could open a path. Like, oh man,
yeah,
this is a lot, y'all. So in that sense, Environmental Station Alpha, I like the feel of it. The bosses are good instead of very bad. Just very bad. The final boss is really fun. I wound up, it took me like 40 minutes, so I wound up like putting on a podcast and just grinding it out. Like, all right, I'm going to figure out this tough pattern. It feels honest, though. And then I got the bad end, and it's a pretty good bad end, actually. But the thing is, like with Fusion, like Metroid Fusion, that game has, like the Saw X and writing to carry it.
Yeah.
So the restrictive structure feels more contextualized.
Yeah, it makes more sense. Better. It makes more sense because it's telling the straightforward story.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe the conceit of the station that you're on, of being restricted in the way that it's locked down. It makes sense. They contextualize it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I like it. It works. This doesn't do the work. It doesn't make it work. So it just feels needlessly restrictive, and I wish that it was more open and they just let the game be shorter, so you don't spend as much time wandering around looking for the right key card. There's a big old post that I don't know how you unlock the true end. It has to do with doing you suddenly have to do a bunch of Fez puzzles at the end, I think.
Did you get a second ending? I think you said
I've only gotten the bad end so far. I have not finished it.
Wait,
yeah.
Did you beat the final boss?
I beat the final boss and got the bad ending. Yes.
See, I think what Matthew Matosis was saying in that video is that that's not actually a, air quotes, bad ending.
Okay, whatever. I'll see how it goes. So I've done like a bunch of the puzzling already because I knew it was going to get puzzly, so I was taking notes at stuff that looked weird. It's really funny because again, there's just no puzzle up until then. So it's like, all right, cool. But also, until then, it was a very standard Metroid-y thing. So I was kind of only felt like pushing forward because I knew it was going to get weird at the end. So
it gets
now
weird,
I'm kind of enjoying myself. I'm enjoying myself a little more because it's like, okay, I can move around the island. I just have to figure out how to fill in the holes in this map. I'm having a pretty good time. If I get stuck, I'll probably just look at a guide and finish it up. But I'm enjoying myself.
Here's the thing about that post game: you will get stuck because it's like virtually impossible. I don't want to say how hard it goes, but it goes.
Understood.
I just got to a point like I had done a part of it, and I just was like, "So what's next?" And I'm like, "What?" Like, it's like community brute forcing kind of stuff, kind of.
All right.
Like it goes real hard.
I'll probably
and that's kind of cool. Like it would have been cool to have been part of that when nobody knew that there was more to it. But it's not like most Fez is a game that people kind of overhyped, where I think you can get through 99% of that without
basically
any sort of guides.
But the red cubes.
Yeah, like even the red cubes, like me and Polly found 2 of them, and then the third one is the fucking monolith that is like literally impossible.
Yeah, there's no actual solution.
Oh, there is a solution. It's just not in the game.
Yeah, it was data mined, I believe.
That's so funny. No, I think they actually solved that one manually.
I think they might have I think they brute forced it in such a way, but it took forever to do it.
Okay, here's my version of the story. Is what I heard is that somebody leaked what the first button press was.
Oh.
And then they leaked it. Then they brute forced it from there. They're like, it starts with blah blah blah. And it's 7 codes long.
Mm.
God, that's so funny.
Oh, I think you have to be standing in a certain place.
You have to go into first. You have to go into first person mode and stand in the middle of the Polytron logo.
Oh fuck! But besides that,
yeah.
So say Environmental Station Alpha maybe doesn't go quite that hard, but also
Yeah.
Oh yep. Y'all solved the Metatron one?
Yeah.
Yes. Polly fucking blurted that out while I was talking to her, and I'm like, oh, thanks.
Well, I thought that was the one you had.
I just thought that was funny. But yeah, Polly, I swear on my life, Polly figured that one out.
Yep.
Because we were looking at like the oval stuff, and she just goes, Metatron. I'm like, what?
I saw the stargazing one on accident. I was just
everybody does.
Yeah, that one's the one that's easy to get on accident.
Gotcha. Oh well. So it's going weird now, and I'm appreciating that. If it weren't for the weird, and it's very obvious that there's more to it when you get to the final boss, which sort of deflates it a bit. Mm-hmm. You get to the end, and it's like, oh, this is not actually the end, is it? Whereas you can beat Hollow Knight, and it feels like very resolute.
Yeah.
Or you beat Axiom Verge, and you think that wasn't the end, was it? But it
yeah.
actually is. Oh, there is no true end. That was it. Okay.
Man, the ending in Axiom Verge, was just the most like, that can't be it, right?
And it is.
Like, it seemed like a parody of itself.
Yeah. Yeah. I will agree with you there. I admit that game's flawed, but I still like it.
Yeah, that's fair. And
it's got really good parts. I just got so mad every time I tried to explore.
Yeah.
Getting blocked.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's kind of the thing. I kind of like this game, too. Because it just feels really good, and it's really pretty, and I like the ambiance, and I like the bosses. So, and I want to see where it goes with the weirdo puzzle shit. I don't think it's going to be a favorite of mine, but I don't think it's going to be like I'm going to want to throw it in the trash either.
No.
That's one more thing, is that there's just tons of one-way paths, like constantly, even after you have all your items. So just moving around the world, even after you have everything, is cumbersome.
At least there's, I mean, I don't even like fast travel stations, and there could be more in this because moving around is a pain, but at least they're there. God.
Oh my God, yeah. Thank God they're there. Again, it's significantly longer than Axiom Verge by like 3 hours without even getting to the puzzle stuff. So, whew.
That's quite a bit to take in.
It's a lot of game.
A lot of game.
So that's my Environmental Station Alpha adventure.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. Anything else that you'd want to bring up before we start to close things out?
I'm good.
I got a fun question before we go.
Okay.
Sure.
So since this is the last episode that we're doing of the year, prior to Game of the Year stuff, what's your 2019 looking like? What are you looking at playing that you haven't had a chance to do, or that's coming out? And I'll even get us started because I prepared. While y'all were talking, made a list. So I thought of 4 games specifically that I'm pretty eager to get into, whether they be released next year or they're already out. Blazing Chrome, obviously. The newest from Joy Masher. That game is looking fantastic. I want to play Dragon Quest XI.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That game looks fucking adorable. Overwhelm. I want to try it. That sounds like my shit right there.
It's $5 on Steam right now.
Oh damn. Okay. I was about to put it on my wish list, but oh damn, it's $5. Okay. I'm hoping it's released next year. At the very least, Trails of Cold Steel 3.
Cool.
Would definitely like to.
It's a good one.
Yeah. So those are the 4 things I'm looking forward to. Our duck in chat says Animal Crossing. And Jetstorm wants to play his very own RPG, which I'm eager to give a playthrough as well, because that thing's been looking pretty great in screenshots. So, who's up?
I got mine.
What you got?
Tom's RPG. That I'm really pumped for that.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna tickle my pickle. That's
Sorry.
almost. I had like 10 friends release big games this year, so I'm like I can't actually think of much more that's coming out next year. It's like everyone finished blowing their load this year. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let's see what next year brings.
There's another one on my list, but I can't talk about it because I'm the one making it, or I'm involved with the making of it. So I can't talk about it yet, though.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I've got a couple irons in the fire. Y'all can appreciate that. Aside of that, it's Trails of Cold. It's Trails in the Sky Third, obviously.
Yes.
I'm not going to get to that before Game of the Year.
No, probably not.
I can't. Yeah, I can't do the whole fun trilogy entry, unfortunately. But it's I'm more excited to play that than any other video game. Is going to be a fucking blast. Absolutely, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool. Nier. I started that last year, and then regular plain old Nier.
You bounced off that though, didn't you?
I didn't. Yeah, in a sense, but I was also very sad at the time.
You play the most games when you're very sad, though.
That is true. You just go balls deep.
I dropped it a couple. I dropped it a couple hours in, and then played Mario Galaxy and Breath of the Wild back to back.
And hated them so.
Oh my god!
I think
that's what it was. Go ahead.
Like Polly's like, I hate video games now after Yakuza and Under Hero. You played Breath of the fucking Wild and Mario Odyssey and was like, I hate video games.
I played one other Nintendo game all year, and it was Dragalia Lost.
Oh, which is the worst one, right?
Is it the worst one? Is it? Seems like they're just kind of... Okay, never mind. The important thing is I started Nier and then dropped it because I got a Switch with a bunch of fun, amazing new games. I want to get back to it because it seems amazing, and I really want to see that story through.
Yeah. Worth it. Very worth it.
Yep. Couple others. Uncharted 2.
Yes!
Man, it's so amazing watching John go nuts for Uncharted 1.
Yeah, I played Uncharted 1 and it rocked my socks.
See, that's that's the reaction I wanted to Uncharted 1, because like if you got that out of Uncharted 1, Uncharted 2 is going to blow your fucking mind with how good it is.
Cool. Because I kind of cooled down a little bit because I was like, man, there was a lot of shooting in that one, huh?
Yeah, the end of Uncharted games tends to get a little overbearing, but I think that the overall experience is always worth it. Except Uncharted 3. Don't play Uncharted 3. I hated that one.
Cool. So if Uncharted 2 is just bends the needle a little bit away from shooty shoot and more towards, the set pieces, then yeah, that's going to be...
I feel like it's more balanced.
Yeah. That's going to be my whole jam. And Uncharted 1 just had writing. It had writing.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
They all have writing.
It was a story.
Naughty Dog's always got some real snappy writing. Carmichael McCallis is looking forward to Shadowbringers.
Cool. Never heard of it.
Nor have I. And he's going to play a ton of Toho fan games on Steam, too.
That's cash as well.
I hope Notorink gets finished. That's the WarioWare-ish Notori-based game that's on. It's real good.
I played the demo finally. It's very cute.
Yeah, I want that to get finished soon.
You can rest assured, just in addition to Trails, a bunch of other Falcom games. I want to play a bunch more Ys, because E6 rocked my socks as well. I want to just put Falcom in me. Danganronpa 3.
Yes.
Man, you've got so much good shit on the horizon. Holy shit.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Fuck any releases next year. John's just locking up, getting toasty, and playing all the old shit.
Yep. I want Danganronpa 3. And last one, this has just been on my brain for a million years for some reason. I really want to play Devil May Cry 1.
Yo, go for it. That game's good. I love the Devil May Cry.
I really liked Resident Evil 2, and this is like a follow-up of that in a sense. Kind of.
Well, it was originally Resident Evil 3, so...
Exactly, and unlike the actual Resident Evil 3, this one's also directed by Kamiya.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play Devil May Cry. It looks fucking rad.
It's
and
fun.
Plus, I loved Luca so much. I want to get in to more of the platinum-y, that kind of fighter.
Like very kind of like more technical. Like the fighting is a little more than just bashing the. It's more than God of War.
Yeah, because I have bounced off those games because they seem too complicated for me, and I really like Luca, so I'm going to make the effort. And I also like Bayonetta, so
Yeah.
I want to figure it out.
You'll get it. You'll get it. Like, I think that the thing with Devil May Cry 1 is that it, like, the way that game's set up, it is a product of its time. Like, it does a lot of fixed camera angle stuff that can kind of feel real cheap and shitty.
The thing is, the fixed camera angles are kind of a big plus for me. I really like that aesthetic.
Maybe it won't bother you, but I just kind of feel that kind of thing, like, it does interfere with what those games kind of need to feel really good. Like, when you look at Bayonetta and the fact that, like, it's not like that, and you see, like, what those games do, or Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, where, you know, you're not locked into these one specific camera angles to kind of, like, work your way through an area, or to kind of know how to make the area your playground. Yeah, I think that those games work when they're not restricted like that. But I still like Devil May Cry 1 and 3.
Yeah, I think I'm more associating it with Resident Evil 2 than I am Bayonetta for whatever reason. I think that puts me in a good headspace for it. God, Resident Evil 2 is good. That is my
the Resident Evil 2 remake. I'm getting that too.
That was damn it. That was literally what I was gonna say.
Okay, Rhett. What about you?
Resident Evil 2 remake.
Yeah, that's going to be real fucking good.
I'm real excited for that. Isn't that January? That's like pretty soon, actually.
I think it's March. I could be wrong, but I think it's March.
Either way, I have that pre-ordered, so it'll just show up one day, and I'll be like, "Oh, nice."
Awesome.
Very nice.
The other game I have pre-ordered, I'm not sure if it's actually coming out or not, is Metroid Prime 4. Maybe that'll be next year.
Maybe next year. Maybe not.
Extremely maybe.
Extremely maybe, because they haven't shown anything.
Thing on that since the original teaser, right?
Yeah. But, like, Nintendo has managed to get games out, I feel, relatively timely from when they're kind of shown.
Yeah. They typically don't show or announce something unless they know that they're within a certain window.
Yeah. I mean, except for Breath of the Wild, which fucking took forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, nobody thought they were going to get Xenoblade 2 out last year, and then they totally did.
But I did not see that happening. That just fucking floored me, because they announced it, and I thought, okay, that's like a 2019 game, clearly.
Yeah, because Xenoblade X was, like, announced real early and then took forever on Wii U, and then, 2 is just here, out of nowhere.
Yep.
Xenoblade 2 is 2017, right?
Yeah. But the Switch came out in 2017.
Yeah.
Okay, I was confused for a second. Like, that wasn't this year, was it?
No, but they just released some expansion this year.
The Torna standalone expansion.
Yeah. But that's a lot of Xenoblade to play. I don't know about that. I still gotta finish the first one. I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to that next year or not, though. Maybe I always feel like end of the year is this kind of dead period where it's like, I kind of don't want to play anything that would disrupt my Game of the Year list right now.
Nobody play any video games from today until December 16th.
No, and then I played Sonic Forces.
The nightmare would be getting to the podcast and being halfway through Trails 3rd. Like, that would be
God.
Oh.
I've been halfway through Xenoblade every year, so... But...
Well, are you gonna
I don't even know if I ever actually finished that, if I could bring myself to put it on a Game of the Year list, because it's like, I played a third of it this year, you know? It's just going to feel so weird. It's just going to always feel like an honorary mention, I think, if I ever finish it.
Oh, that's funny.
And then one more game I guess I'm looking forward to is something I bought last month and haven't gotten to yet.
Oh, yeah.
And is directly responsible for my I don't want to play anything right now that's going to disrupt my Game of the Year list.
Oh.
I actually went out and bought Shibuya Scramble 528 or whatever the number is.
Oh, yeah.
428 Shibuya Scramble. Yeah, I'm picking that up soon.
Everyone's is like, this game is super amazing. And I'm like, why don't I want to play the super amazing game right now? What's wrong with me? I just want to play...
Gaudy.
I'm very weird.
Yeah.
I just want to play No Man's Sky and just be trash and Sonic Forces.
That's what you do for the all until December 16th. Once we've done recorded the podcast, it's all fair game, right?
Yeah.
You don't have that much longer to wait.
3 weeks. It's a long time. Or it's going to seem like a long time, and then it'll be fucking over in a nut.
Yeah, it'll be over in a second. You know, we didn't mention Super Neptunia RPG.
God.
Weird. I guess a bit of the excitement's kind of died down because that game's kind of sounding a little shaky.
I mean, it got delayed. That's not necessarily a bad sign.
That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad sign, but it's not a great sign either, especially with the video that I've seen of that game.
Oh, I haven't seen anything of it so far.
Ooh, it looked really rough.
Listen, Polly, it's a Neptunia spinoff.
Look, I'm buying it anyway.
We've been through the song and dance many, many times before. Most notably with Cybernap, where it's like, oh, this is going to be the good spinoff, and then it wasn't.
This is as predictable as the Sonic formula.
Yeah, I did honestly forget about it though. Even though I have the calendar.
Yeah, like that really good calendar. So is that all we're looking forward to for the most part right now? As far as our outlook goes, as far as we can see into 2019?
I'll probably play Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm probably going to play that too. Oh, Mega Man 11. I've got to play Mega Man 11.
Yeah, I should play that.
I'm just like slightly apathetic shrug on that.
I don't know. I've seen bits and pieces of it. And I'm like, yeah, this actually looks pretty good.
All right, cool.
So I'm on board.
Music that jibed with me.
I feel like so much stuff is coming out right now that
it's just so overwhelming.
Like stuff like Hitman 2 just came out and like whoosh.
Yeah, just like
And then fucking Darksiders 3 comes out tomorrow.
Fucking what?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, what?
They made a Darksiders 3 and it comes out tomorrow.
Holy shit.
I know, right?
I did not know that. I legit am kind of shocked.
Why are you releasing this late November?
Yeah.
I don't know. Post Black Friday. It's over. We're done. Everyone has bought all the video games.
Yeah, like the video games have been bought. It's done. But I guess that's kind of the story for that series. A day or two too late.
He literally. Man.
Oh, I'm probably playing more Kingdom Hearts and more Fate.
Okay, great.
That'll be fun to look forward to in future podcasts for me to sleep through. Jetstorm brings up a good point that Mega Man 11 is better than Mega Man 10. Well, Mega Man 10, after Mega Man 9 was, this amazing, really fucking great Mega Man game, Mega Man 10 is garbage.
I slept on that one too.
Mega Man 10 went back to feeling like tired and boring NES Mega Man. Whereas Mega Man 9 felt like a revitalization. Mega Man 10 felt like Mega Man 5, which is fucking boring.
Oh, yup. I like the bit when you go up to the space station and the little thing goes like, beep, 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 beep. Oh, it's growing up all the way into space. I like that part. I like nothing else. Oh, and Solar Man's theme.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. That's everything good about Mega Man
10. Is that everything?
Yeah.
Yep.
Deltarune.
Right. Deltarune, but that's not going to be for that's not going to be till 2023. All right, so I guess we're going to go ahead and wind down our last regular episode of the year. It's coming to a close. We only got to do 12 of these this year because, we're busy people and sometimes inspiration's just not there. But we love and appreciate you coming out and downloading and listening. All the same, it's always a great time coming to hang out with you guys. Remember, if you want to get in on the Game of the Year action, 3 games. Doesn't matter when they were released. If you played it this year, good. Put it on your list. Write you a few sentences about each game, 2 to 3. We're going to paraphrase if you go way too damn long, Poncho Smith.
He didn't, so you can't call him out anymore.
I won't call him out anymore. I'm just continuing the running joke, Rhett.
Banner.
All right. So, and once you get your games down, once you got your little paragraph done, send that off to, where are they sending it off, Rhett?
Podcast at socksmakepeoplesexy.net.
Where was that again, John Thayer?
Podcast at socksmakepeoplesexy.net.
Look at this. 2 hours ago, these were 2 dumb motherfuckers sitting here. Now, in my
I
presence,
nailed it my first try.
In my presence, they have become gods. You too can do the same if you send a list to podcast@socksmakepeoplesexy.net. John Thayer, where can the fine folks in internet land find you?
Farawaytimes.itch.io.
Ritz!
in3.tumblr.com, but I have not updated in like half a year. I got to do that.
Yeah, you got some things.
I'm like 10 podcast episodes behind, and we only did 12.
Well, it's a good thing we only did 12 this year. You don't have much to update with. It's not like when I had to rebuild the entire fucking site and put over 100 podcasts back on manually. That was good fun, let me tell you. And I'm Polly. You can find me here on my Twitch channel, never streaming, because I did not have time for Car November. There's still a week left, though. I might be able to get a run in. We'll hope. But I was sick all month.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, and the website, socksmakepeoplesexy.net. And remember, we are the pod... Wait. No, I gotta do it right. I almost forgot my own sign-off. Remember, we are the podcast that loves you. We are the only ones that love you. All right, that's good. Thank you all for coming out. We hope you all had a good time. Look, our duck in the chat apparently had a great time.
Yeah.
It was a good time. Thank you, Tinger Gemini, for the bits. If anybody resubscribed and I didn't catch it, thank you very much as well. And I believe we're going to go ahead and say goodbye to you all. But I tell you what, let me see if anybody's streaming. I might have somewhere I want to kick you all over to. So what do you say? You hang out for a second. I know that RGL is running a charity marathon, and they've got some really good shit coming up tonight. So you should go over there and check them out. So let me just grab their little linky dinky here. Ba-da-bop. All right, and you kids, have yourselves a good night. We love you guys very much. We'll catch you for Game of the Year. Those will be going up on the week of December 24th. So, good night, y'all.